waiting for more people. I'm actually early for once in my life. People are waiting. Used to me being a little late, but I told people I'll be on time this time. So I'm waiting for more people. And if you're new to the live, welcome in. And in the meantime, I'm waiting for more people to come in. I'm actually early. It's actually 5:53 Eastern time, PM 53, 5 p.m. Eastern time. Well, 5:53 Eastern time here in Georgia, Atlanta. So I'm waiting for more people to come in. This live is going to be literally, man, if you not joining, share it out. This live is going to be something. That's all I have to say. So I'm waiting for more people to come in. And if you new, drop what state you in. In the meantime, you're more than welcome to drop out, come back in. But more people are going to, what's this? 10 to 4. What? Huh? Hold on. Huh? What's 10-4? What's 10-4? 10. Oh, I'm so slow. Okay, 10-4. I'm waiting for more people to come in, but I'm actually early. That's all I wanted to say. So feel free to come back until actually 6 p.m. Eastern time. And if your Pacific time is going to be 3 p.m. Pacific time. But I'm actually early, so I don't expect people to be here this early. You know, that's why maybe that's why I need to start showing back up late, because I'm super early. I said I was gonna be here 10 minutes early. TikTok normally have me in this rut to where I'm actually loading content, but I didn't load content today. I did, but it wasn't the content that I normally would upload, and so I didn't have that problem with being late. Normally I have to add time too, but until the meantime, welcome in. If you're new, drop your state. Please, James Brown, please grab your pen and pad. This is essential. This one is very important because I have things to say, and I'm just excited about this one because the momentum of Porsche Justice League is getting people's attention, especially state actors. Welcome in, Mrs. Lashes, Texas, TX. Welcome in. And so don't forget to grab your daily heart me when you do come in. But like I said, this one is literally going to be a good one because I'm seeing the things and the method that Porsche Justice League do, how I am pulling the truth out, snatching the truth from people. They don't want to provide it. They don't want to give it up. So guess what? Justice is getting them in the grip hole. So don't forget to grab your daily heart me, share the live out. Until the meantime, I'm going to wait for more people to come in. And this live you don't want to miss because I have a lot of things to give. I also have a lot of things I want to, facts that I want to do in story time. I have a lot of testimonies. I have a lot of testimonies from my team leagues. I don't want to spill the tea just yet or what they might say, but how about Porsche Justice League are having judges removed out of their courtroom with their staff? That's what I'm gonna say for now. And it's in Texas where everything's supposedly be big. And I'm low key. I don't like to do a showboat. I don't like to boast. I'm humble at what I do, the strategies that me and my team, far as my clients. When I say team leagues, I'm talking about my clients. People already know that I'm Porsche. Justice is God. He stands in the truth, and he's doing his absolute most for people that come apart as clients for Justice League. Testimonies are ruling and ringing across the nation. I have people awaiting a hearing for some cases before I even joined or got aboard for my clients. And so the momentum of things is really being heated. These people do not like the truth. And so I don't want to say too much before more people come in because I'm actually early. But just know that Porsche Justice League is getting judges removed. If some of my clients do come in, I will let them give the testimony of that sort on certain things. A lot of the clients that I do have, their cases are disclosed, meaning that I don't talk about it unless they give me permission to mention it. It's madness to me. live now. I have some great things to tell. If my clients are here in the live panel, they come up, they will give you briefly of how Justice League work. This is a family business. I do work alone, but I have a small team, just little, meaning that my clients, for one, they are part of the team, meaning that I work hand in hand with them. And so I have a few things I'd like to say. How about the truth? Expose people. So I don't want to spill the tea, but just know that Justice League is ringing the nation bells of justice, literally getting these people, state actors, in the grip. I'm really humble at what I do. I would like for my one of my clients out in Texas to give his testimony, if and then anybody else would like to share that. Also, I'm in the process of having it's amazing to me how just being a vessel and yielding to what God is doing. And so I'm waiting for more people to come in. Like I said, I'm early, so it's just 5:59 right now. I said I would come in early. I don't want to give too much of everything because people get upset when they miss the live. So don't forget to grab your daily heart me. And in advance, I would like to say thank you for sharing the live out. Thank you for joining in. Thank you for joining in for Portia Justice League. I have some great things that's going to help you. And so this one is amazing. This live is going to be the truth for real. I don't want to give everything out at one time, but because I don't want people to miss it. And so I'm going to wait for more people to come in. I'll have one of my clients come in and tell you how he was having issues with the judge out in Texas, and this judge has been harassing him for as long as he's been dealing with it by himself. Before I came in, then we were dealing with it, but he took the most. But he say, Portia, well, I can't take credit for anything. And I say to him, I can't take credit. So that means it's both of us that can't take credit. In that case, it's God that gets all the glory, and he gets all the honor for moving on people's behalf when they come aboard for Justice League, because I'm going to make sure that I do my part. I can't tell you how attorneys, law firms are weird. When I say weird, one of my clients out, and I'm not going to say what state. Hey, Mrs. B, y'all welcome in. Don't forget to grab your daily heart me. One of my clients out in another state that I don't even have a case out there in this particular state, but just know that it's Pacific time, and it's amazing to me how she's been dealing with this particular thing. Hey, Georgia Eviction Coach. It's been a particular case that is sensitive. Most sensitive is dealing with the unalive case, of course. And Mrs. Portia and the entire Portia Justice League company, good afternoon. Oh, greetings. Yeah, and so she said, Portia, I don't even know you that long. She said, but the power that you possess, you don't even understand, because the law firm had to call the owner of the law firm in to have a mega meeting with the whole staff joined in due to your behalf before they even had the meeting with us that day that was already scheduled. And so thank you. And so it's a blessing to be a part of just making sure that people's rights are being exercised. And so she said they are shook. They already searched you up. They couldn't wait to talk about you in this meeting of who you are and what business we have in Atlanta, Georgia. And so my client's business is my business. And so I'm humble. To be a part of things so great. And so I don't want to tell everything because I want more people to come in. I'm actually early, so I'm probably going to give it about maybe 5 more minutes. Y'all can grab your daily heart me, share the live out, it's truly a blessing to be in this live this evening. Whether you're Pacific time and Eastern time, I'm most humble. I'm going to stay humble, because me being humble and not showboating and broadcasting a lot of things as if I'm the one that's making the moves. No, I'm just a vessel for God, and he does his work. And so it's a blessing to be able to see the works of the laborer of what I do for Justice League as the CEO of Portia Justice League, a family-owned business, and I'm the mastermind behind it, working alongside with my clients. I am going to do my absolute most. Thank you, Georgia Eviction. I am going to always, and I tell you this, going to absolutely do my most and exhaust every remedy there is in the constitutional rights, in the state statutes, in every state and nationwide is on your side. I'm really going to do it. And so I take this serious. I don't play around when it comes to my clients. I just don't. Whether they incarcerated in prison and whether they out here in the outside world with us, whether they in jail. I do have a testimony of, I know that some people don't and haven't known of a case that has been ringing bells for the longest in Valdosta, Georgia. How many people are familiar with the young boy that was wrapped up in the mat? That one young boy, his insides were missing. I know y'all probably familiar with that, but that same Loudoun County is where I'm at with 3 cases where these three young men were as suspects as the people that unalived this one 15-year-old. Yeah, that's the same county. I'm not on that case though. About the mat, I wish I was, because listen, these people are listen. Like I said, I'm gonna pause there. Just let's take a note to say, Valdosta, Georgia, I am on their neck heavy, and they're trying to prosecute these young boys as if they are the ones that did this case, did this unalive live. But how many people know that they have to put you there on the scene? It's not what you say, it's what you can prove. And so it's 3 co-defendants, all total of 3 guys. At the time, they were juveniles. So I've been on that case since last year. I want to say October, November, December, January, February, March, April, May, June. I've been on this case almost a year now, and I have exhausted all the remedies. So they do have public defenders. I'm advocating for 2 of the young guys, which are brothers. It have made the news. I got some of the biggest case that I don't even talk about that have made the media, that have made the news, and because it is sensitive and people are gonna find out who Portia Justice League is. I don't like to be out there broadcasting in a showboat and doing A, B, C, and D, because that's not how I roll. But I am humble. My clients know that I'm humble, and they see results. I don't just talk about stuff. I do exactly what I say I'm going to do, and I see results. And so I'm gonna here pause. Maybe in 3 minutes I'll continue on. But like I said before, just hold on. Remember Valdosta, Georgia, because I'm gonna continue on. But in the meantime, I'm going to give it 3 minutes. So if y'all don't mind grabbing y'all pen and pad, because we are on the time frame now. However, I will start accepting people up here after a certain thing is. Hey, welcome in. I will allow people to come up, and people not familiar with seeing me on live, but since I dedicated Court Survivor Sundays every Sunday at 6 p.m. Eastern time and 3 p.m. Pacific time, I dedicate that no matter what, except for one time I canceled, but I gave them a rain check, and then we had double that week. That was I think a week and a half ago, where I dedicated that time. But listen, y'all are really truly going to be blessed in this, because y'all need to know what I have to say. As a civil rights advocate, I didn't choose to do this. I've just studied law on my own over 17 years, and God had me going through pro se. I never been incarcerated, never been arrested, of course, but just the cleanliness of me yielding as a vessel. Not saying I'm a perfect person, but hey, I be on these people's neck, literally. You know you big and bad in the spirit when you have judges removed and their whole staff being investigated by the FBI, GBI, and whoever, and their mama can get it, you see? And so it's just truly a blessing to be able to see my clients deal with certain stuff way before I got in on the picture. Now they seeing where they were going to get steamrolled. And so I don't want to do too much running my yapper because, you know, when I speak with results. So like I said before, people been talking about the Camilo Anthony's case, and is I don't even know what God is doing in this situation in this time, but all I know is that the same district attorney where my client is and has been way before then, 2.5 years before I've been on it, 9 months in Texas where everything is big, have found out some disturbing things. And so these people are getting a whiff of who I am in Texas, including talking to one of my other clients. I can't tell you how many people I have in Texas. I don't know. I know it's some advocates out there, but they're not, they do different things. And it's funny to me how I see on the outside that these people are supposed to have these calls and operating in such levels, but they're not helping nobody. You're not trying to help them with their case. You're not trying to give them no legal education of content on how you can do it, how you can, hey, Miss Kimberly, out there, you're not helping these people. And I'm like Martin Luther King and John Lewis and everybody else probably rolling around in their grave. And so it's really sad to me as a person to see how all these people are acting on Camilo Anthony's case and talking about it on their panels, but y'all not doing nothing. Y'all just want to bring it a trend. So this live will not be talking about him. I don't know his case. I read on articles about what they say, but how many people know that the truth lies deeper? Justice lies deeper than that. And I'm the person with Portia Justice League that grabbed that the truth out, and God exposes these people that's supposed to be the ones that protect we the people. He's now holding these people. It's a time now. This is the time now where God is holding these people accountable. Yeah, you might have did something, but were your constitutional rights exercised? These are the things that I care about. I don't care I care what was done, but in that caring of what was done, we're going to get the truth out of what has been. And I stand on the truth. Portia Justice League, we stand on truth. We don't stand on hearsay. We don't do none of that stuff over here. And so people think, oh, it's she got a whole team. No, ma'am. It's just me and my clients that come aboard, where they have a roadmap I provide for them, where I give them exhaustive remedies out, and they see results. I'll allow some people come up in the panel after, but I want to get started. So here, like I said, I want to give y'all probably about 2 minutes. Let's give y'all 2 minutes literally to grab your pen and pad, because you're going to need it, take notes, and hear what God is saying, okay? Y'all have to hear what he's saying. Minutes. Awesome, thank you. 2 minutes, y'all. Pen and pad. My voice. Y'all ready? My heart pouncing. Hey, flip flops. My heart counting, y'all. Hey, brown skin. All right, y'all. My heart was just thinking about all the stuff that I've been dealing with. So, I don't know who was here last Sunday, but y'all know I've been in strategy mode, right? So strategy mode is the thing that you don't discuss while you're on the chessboard. You don't let people know your strategies. So I've been working alongside with my team leads, which are my clients, in strategy mode. And so one thing as a civil rights advocate and being in this game, because it's a game, literally it's a game. Hey, Earl. Earl, don't be in here dipping in and dipping out. I saw you. Y'all gonna see me do that every now and then, messing with my people. Brown skin. Yeah, so long story short, I have taken notes on things that I found out during the times where, I know, right, Earl, I ain't got no sense. Oh, I forgot to mess with Joe. Joe, you still in here? I'm talking about the one from Louisiana. This ain't got nothing to do with you, Otis. Okay, so I am, if you still in here, after I do the truth, I want to see if you will be able to come up to give your testimony to see, so not even see, so they can hear you. I'm not sure if you hear in the live, but I am that I am. It's here. So this is my notes I want to give. It's the truth. Now, y'all know justice stands on the truth. I don't know about y'all, but when I go and I work hand in hand with my clients, I want to know the truth. Tell me everything. Otherwise, I'm going to find out otherwise. And so some might not know this, but I have to talk to wardens in these states, these prisons. I have to talk to COs, prosecutors, of course, the district attorney. They work under the umbrella underneath there. I'm not afraid of these people, and people don't know certain things, and that's why I say I know I'm called by God to do this, because when it comes to certain things and digging in and going over certain things, they don't like justice. They love to see me coming. As one of my clients' mothers would say, they love to see me coming. So I can't say they don't like me. They love to see me coming. I'm just going to confess that they love to see me coming. We know they don't like to see me coming at all. I'm a brief pause right quick. I did have a conversation with one of my Texas clients' attorneys. He been dodging the mess out of me. I mean, I don't text him 15 times, and he tried to suppress his email address. Now, y'all know how I feel about email addresses, because I personally don't like to communicate verbally on the phone unless I'm getting what I need. Other than that, we communicating by email. Why? Because there's paper trail. Y'all listen, take notes. Email. If you have a public defender or an attorney, stop talking to them verbally on the phone. Half of y'all can't even get them on the phone, no way. Right? Hey, Bernice. I'm not fooling. They call me and Bernice Venus and Serena, right, Bernice? I don't know which one I am. I don't know if I'm Venus or Serena. Because we be on it, don't we? In federal court, baby, giving them the run for their money. Look, I don't want y'all to think I'm ego boosting because somebody said something about, oh, she too much ego boosting. This and that in one of my videos. You know, people are really hating on that video that I put out about Carmelo Anthony. And it was all white people, no offense. Are you Serena? I'm about to Google and see what Serena looked like. I'm just joking. But yeah, they don't like to see, they love to see me coming. And so they don't like the truth. I found out that, what is it about the truth? Now, write down truth, because y'all gonna need this. It's gonna help. Truth. What is it about truth that people are afraid of? You rather tell a lie than to tell the truth. Why? It's not gonna get you out of trouble. Now, it's a difference between incriminating yourself. We're not talking about that, because there's rules to this. You hear me? It's rules. We're not incriminating ourselves. And so the truth, just the truth. I stand on the truth. Anything I do with justice, I'm looking for the truth. So what is truth? Truth is not opinions. These are my notes. Truth is not popularity. Truth is not what benefits one side over another. Truth is not what is most convenient. Truth is facts. Truth is honesty. Truth is transparency. Truth is accountability, and truth is integrity. People know that when they come aboard to Justice League, I stand on truth. That's all I look for. That's all I do is the truth. If we're going to do the darn thing, we're going to do it. Let's stand on the truth in this. And so what I find out is that these people, as a civil rights advocate, I had the opportunity to work with people in all 50 states, right? And so I sat with mothers, fathers, wives, husbands, the whole thing, incarcerated men, women, families with public defenders, families with private attorneys, right? And so what I'm finding that individuals are representing themselves, because now I'm finding that most of my clients that I have, believe it or not, have paid attorneys and public defenders, and they are the issue. Now, I'm gonna be honest with y'all. So, let's mindful. I read the panel rules. If you come up, because I'm not gonna sugarcoat anything. These people in these states that I get a whiff of, and I'm pulling the truth out, and these are law firms, and these are people, state actors. They probably watching my live on the outside now. I know they are. They see that I'm going live every Sunday. They want to see what I'm talking about. And I don't have anything to hide. So one of my clients out in Texas, his attorney to be he said was attorney. I don't know why public defenders get offended when I say public defender. He was really, I just spoke with him Friday and I caught him, and he wants to know what it is that you do. Because he already questioned my client. He said, what it is that you do. And I was really honest about him. So these are things they try to keep from me as they advocate, is the truth. But how many people know that you can't stop the truth once this guy has a grip hold, have a situation in a grip hold? You can't get out of the truth, right? So, and deeper as I've worked and I've gone into this, the more I realize that something is difficult to talk about, right? Too often is the truth gets buried, literally gets buried. Let them watch. They may learn something, right? And so, not by everybody, the truth isn't. I'm not saying that. So when y'all find one, please let me know, okay? And I don't mean to sound insulting, but the truth is the truth. When y'all find a good attorney, please let me know, right? There are good public defenders, but when y'all find one, let me know. I just read an article in Valdosta, Georgia. If y'all pull it up, it says that the juridical circuit of public defenders get multiple fundings. Hey, Ernest, welcome. Oh, wow. Okay. I do it for the vines. And so I'm finding out that they stand on the Sixth Amendment, and we're going to go down this. This is important, y'all. And I hope y'all have y'all pen and pad. Listen, I don't want to get off track. Anyway, so I'm staying on my notes. I have to. So, correctional officers, these are all people that I deal with. And so I can go on and on about the testimonies of families where I advocate, where I'm not getting the credit, but Portia Justice League. Everybody know I'm Portia the Vessel. God is justice, and my clients are the leads. But when I find out as me being an advocate, the civil rights advocate, and stand on these people of fighting for my clients' rights, what they have, and they're not being told that they have remedies that they can exhaust. They really getting in a Hemi. You know, one of the, I'm not going to put them on blast because they've been actually doing what I need them to do, but they just know that they under watch right now. And I do my absolute most when I call up there to check on my clients, because y'all not going to put my clients in no hole because they want justice. Y'all not going to do that. Y'all took away their freedom, not their rights. And let's make that clear. And by the time I got through reading off one of my clients' constitutional rights and her safety issues, considering this one particular prison for women in Georgia, everybody gonna know what it is now. I don't even care, humbly. And so one of my clients called me, say, oh, they put this lady in a room with her, one of the issues that caused the issue. So it was late. I'm there for my clients. I am literally there. Was understood don't have to be explained. You get what I'm saying? But I'm giving a rundown of what I do and how I advocate. I'm not They will tell you if they in here and they my clients. They will tell you I am not your ordinary advocate. I am not your ordinary advocate. I am not the original your simple advocate at all. I am not that. That is not what I do. And so I called up there, and it was night, it was late, and the mom had me on the phone with my client, and she like, I'm gonna stay in this hall. I'm not going nowhere. I'm not going in that room. She caused the problem, the reason why, she's part of the problem. So I call up to the prison. Yes, can I speak to the supervisor in charge tonight? Who do you want to speak to? Well, I have this issue with my client. I don't know what she heard, but she say, there's no one to move them because I went down the problem. She needs to be moved. She's worried about her safety. ABC. I went down the list. So her thing was, well, there's nobody to move her and transfer her this time of night. They don't have nobody on the floor. I said, wait a minute. Now you have to listen to the details when people talk out of their mouth, because they don't tell you the truth, whether you receive it or not. Everybody, you get what I'm saying? You just have to listen. They don't intentionally mean to give you the truth, but what they say out of their mouth is truth. So you mean to tell me there's nobody watching these women? They can just be getting mollywopped upside their head, anything at night? She don't open up her mouth. She said a mouthful already. So know that I had said, well, wait a minute, ma'am. Wait. This is what I told her. I said, so that's what y'all doing over there? Because if that's what y'all doing over there, you need to let me know now. She said, well, ma'am, I can do a wellness check. Who is your relative? I said, ma'am, you don't understand. I said, she's not my relative. I am her civil rights advocate. When I don't know what it is, these people know who I am, and my name get on this list of when I call, they already know who I am in these states. It's weird, but it's truth. And so I'm not saying I'm being bad and bold all by myself, but it's how I do it and what I do, right? You have to know your stuff. You have to come correct. You can't come half-stepping. You can't come with half the truth. You have to come and know that you know with confidence. And so when I talk to these people, I'm talking respectful to them, right? So she said, well, I'll go check and do a wellness check on myself. I said, well, that's fine. I gave them the dorm where they located. I gave them the people name that was, the issue. And I said, all I know is that my client would never jeopardize her case of getting her freedom, because we're right there. She's already innocent. Her case is tainted. You get what I'm saying? And so if I need to add anybody else, I'm talking and emailing the warden assistant. I'm going to let y'all come up in a minute. I'm going to allow y'all to request up in a minute after I get through this part. And so she say, well, I have to communicate this. There's what's understood don't have to be explained. So I've emailed the warden. I emailed the warden assistant. I emailed exhausted remedies to the ADA people that's over the facility of your higher levels. I reach these people. You understand? And so I know too much. These women writing me these letters, I know too much. I'm going to stay humble, and you go check on her, please, ma'am. Thank you. My client called me back she called me back about 15 minutes, 20 minutes after, and she was blowing up my phone, and I didn't know why. It was late. I said, it can't be that important, but she just wanted to let me know that they went down, got a whole team together, because I already heard the people goofing off in the background now. I heard the CEOs in the background. Don't play with me. I don't have time for that. I need to make sure that their constitutional rights is exercised completely. She got an issue. This is going on. I don't care if the lady in a wheelchair and she got one leg. Move her. Do something. Lord, forgive me for that. But I'm just saying, this the real deal. This is real things. So the mom was calling me that night when I called her in the morning. She said, well, I just want to let you know that they moved the lady. They shipped the lady that caused the problem to another prison. They moved her out of there because the warden knows who I am. She know how, I don't want to say crazy, but she know there's a method to my madness. This stuff is communicated, and they don't want no problems with justice. I'm not justice. God is. If you cry out to him for help on these things, he's going to answer. You just have to be sincere. I don't care if you did something or not. Okay. Okay. Showstopper. Ernest. Okay. Thank you. Showstopper. And so these are things I wanted to encourage y'all on, people outside looking in, inside the chat. You don't have to be afraid of these people. When you seek the truth in all things, it's going to come to the light. Okay. So there's also a system and individuals that have become so focused on efficiency, fear, winning, protecting institutions, and preserving reputation, right? That truth can become secondary. So I've seen people afraid to ask questions. Not me. Don't be afraid. You lose when you don't ask the questions. And with my team leads and my clients, I set up a roadmap and a questionnaire for questions that they don't want you to ask. My client out in this other state that I'm new to, meaning that I don't have any clients there or reside there, and she said the attorney said these are some good questions. Where do you get these questions from? They already know they got some questions from me. They already know for you to have shut down the firm and fly the owner of the firm in because I am on this case. What are y'all hiding? Now I'm on y'all neck because y'all haven't been exercising this person's constitutional rights. But I'm gonna make sure of it. So they said, Portia, it took us 9 months, up to 9 months for you to get on this case. After 9 months, we've been dealing with this. All of a sudden, they see you on here. They want you removed, but we're not removing you for the family's sake because I'm keeping them in line. I'm helping them understand. I'm giving them the findings of their case summary. I have to be able to go over the person's paperwork and exhaust the remedies of what they can do in their case. The attorneys are not doing this. That's why I throw out Portia, the Court Spring series, which we coming up to an end. Survival Sundays is where we survive, getting ready, prepared for the week, so y'all can be encouraged with fuel. And so I'm not a showboat person. People know that when I get aboard, I do my absolute most to make sure that the constitutional rights are exercised. I'm trust and believe that we're holding these people accountable, and I'm preparing and we're strategizing for their rights, because people not gonna fight like you gonna fight. But every case that I get, I have to fight like it's my own case. Have I been incarcerated? No. Was I going to be a police officer in April of last year? Yes, I was going through that process. January, February, March, April was the academy date. I dropped. Once I dropped, God said, okay, it's time. Time for what? To go online. Line for what? Hey, Brittany. Go online for what? To help people. You mean you want me to help do what I've learned over years? I got to share this with people now. I don't even like my own voice. I talk too much. He said, you're going to help people. I said, all right, Lord, I do a little something. So in the beginning, when I started out, I started helping fathers get legitimized, fathers exercising their rights, because these baby mamas be off the chain. You hear me? Then also records restrictions. People don't know that you can get your records restrictions. I help people with records. I help people get their migration package ready. I have a case out in Virginia, Richmond, and one of my clients, she been dealing with this for a while. She wasn't able to get a job, and she came aboard. When I came on, I went to join another community of women, and she was mentioning it. She said, well, I need help with this. I can't get a job because of my record. Well, how many people know that we just at our end, and we've been communicating with the board of parole. Now she'll be able to get the decent job to be forgiven by the parole board. And so she can testify. She'll give you the testimony, because I'm going to put a website together. I've been working on it so that people can reach me better, because Portia, people, it's amazing. Look, if you've been a part of Justice League, and if you have just joined Justice League, far as even watching the content, knowing me, communicating with me, and I communicate with you in the inbox or reaching out to my, whatever the case may be, being a part, you're going to be truly blessed. Trust me, you're going to be good. You're good. You're connected. And so, that's, hey, thank you. Yeah. I didn't ask to do this, but I'm humble enough and I'm bold enough to go before these people. And so, people are afraid to ask questions. So back with the law firm, now these people watching me. They are literally right now while I'm live. They're on the outside watching me. They are. I am JL. I want to see if you can come up here in a few so you can tell them how we moving. But Texas, everything is big. So I've seen people afraid to ask questions. I've seen people pressured into decisions that they didn't fully understand. Taking a plea deal. You can listen. It is not wise. They'll tell you, oh, join this program. People are afraid of, they put people in a fear so bad. Michael Jackson bad, don't even have nothing on it, to where people are afraid to go to trial. Now, I've saw some cases where people have an opportunity to go to trial, but they want to falsify and fabricate and coach them into taking plea deals. If anybody has an attorney, whether they pay or a public defender, and they're coaching you and they're saying there's nothing that we can do, you have to take this. That's illegal. Right off the bike. Okay? It's illegal to coach somebody into taking a plea deal. You have to help them understand the decision is theirs, but they're not going to tell you that. They're going to do you and go get you into a scare tactic to go and take a plea deal instead of going to trial. You right? Oh, well, if we go to trial, they're going to dismiss. You go to trial, you're going to end up losing. That's a fear. It is a lie from the satanic. It's diabolical and it's evil. You understand what I'm saying? You have to understand and to be able to identify your case of rights. There's no excuse not to. Why? Because we have the Court Spring series up. We on 13 right now. 1 through 13 videos is up. Right. We didn't take no plea deal, did we not? I am. We weren't taking it. We not taking no plea deals. That is not an option. I had one of my guys in Tennessee where he was already in probation. And his attorney, no, he didn't have an attorney. He was getting appointed attorney. They tried to give him one. That man messaged me on inbox me. He said, "I'd rather give you money." He said, "I know they're gonna railroad me. They're gonna let me sit this and not." I tell you that I fought with that man. I fight with all my clients, but I'm just giving you testimony. And I'm gonna put a panel of people that Justice League Touch Lives seriously. Seriously, y'all about to see some people about the jail cells are opening. Some of the biggest cases I get that I have that made the media in certain states, and I don't even talk about it unless they want me to discuss it. Then you will see. And so these people are blockers of the truth. They want to suppress the truth, stop people from getting a fair trial, and they don't help people understand. That's what a problem. So if people listen respectfully, if you in my inbox and you asking me, do I know any good attorneys? Don't do that. I feel like that's very disrespectful and it's insulting. Okay. The reason why is because 99 point, I can't even say that. I have multiple clients that have public defenders and paid attorneys. Some of the higher cases out, especially in Atlanta as well, that pay me because they don't trust them. And so I have to advocate and be by them side by side to make sure that their rights are exhausted. Because they'll tell you it's nothing we can do, Bob. You're going to have to take it, man. Or Lisa, you're going to have to take the plea deal. There's nothing we can do. It's a lie. And it's a lot of people some people have mental issues. Some don't. Most don't have mental issues. You understand? And what they'll do is drive you, harass you to the fullest exhaustion, and while you in survival mode, and they'll pressure you into taking a plea deal because they like, oh, you won't give you a run for your money, all because they messed up. And they will. So people don't know if you're being harassed. I do have a video out, and this is state actors. I had he'll tell you one of my clients the judge had him on a list to tell the police officers, if you see this guy, encounter him, and you see him run his tag, arrest him. And it's been going on for too long. But how many people know that judge ain't on that podium no more, or his judge assistant, or his staff, or the sheriff, and the bailiff? That's another story. He'll tell you. He gonna come up, and he been dealing with this for a long time. So families, I've seen families shut out the process, right? I've seen families shut out the process. I've seen incarcerated individuals whose voices felt unheard, right? And so I've seen people convinced that they had no choice, right? No rights, no hopes. Malpractice is the main thing that people can't identify. I have a lady that's here waiting for a hearing now. We coming up close because God's saying it. He's saying it is close, it's close. And man, they had over 2,000, and she had a co-defendant. So my thing was, she's incarcerated now and she's very well protected. And I said, her not one limb better be touched, Mrs. Warden. She know who she is, humbly. And I say this when I talk in this tone, I don't mean no disrespect, but enough is enough, right? So, and that's why we have court survival. That's why it exists, right? But because justice without truth is not justice. Justice requires facts. You better believe I'm getting everything. Y'all cannot suppress no evidence. I don't know if y'all know about my client in Texas where he been dealing with this situation. Another client, it's another one completely. He's been dealing with this situation 2.5 years. I came aboard. I've been on here 9 months. So as his advocate for the family and him, the same county where Anthony, Carmelo Anthony is at, that's the district attorney I've been dealing with for 9 months, not even knowing the sheriff's department and the borderline county of whatever the police department is, but sure enough, the sheriff's department and the district attorneys. So what happened is you have to know and watch. We're gonna get around to our what's the name, our list of things I want y'all to write down. I hope y'all grab y'all pen and pad, but I need y'all to see what I see as the advocate and what y'all need to be able to understand in order to move forward in any case, okay? Anything in your life. I don't care what type of court it is, what system is you're dealing with, the truth shall prevail, right? So, this man been dealing with this 2.5 years. They tried to get him on I don't even want to say, but they literally falsified and fabricated this thing. Now, the thing that happened was the mess up came where his rights were violated completely. I saw the warrant. I saw the supposed to be in the warrant, wasn't. Now I know it's rules that they can have and things they don't have to have. I know it. I know the constitutional rights, my friends. And so it didn't fall in line. So one, if you would say that everything they did was violated itself, the constitutional rights was violated itself. It's like I'm the constitutional rights of every sort and I've been violated. You see, that's how bad it was. And so I'm not sure if they knew that or not. I think the mother knew some of what was going on completely. She just didn't know how to help. And so they had him on this monitor for 2.5 years. I come along and working it. They wouldn't take the paperwork that needed to be filed in to fight for his defense. It's been, so I was like, okay, well, let's give it time. I'm calling the prosecutors. They saying he's not in my system. We don't have it. Hey, welcome in, EC. And so I'm like, what is going on? Y'all don't have it. The judge don't want to tell. What's going on? So I let time go by because I do have a time frame where I say, well, let's give it time. So I do my follow-ups often. And so she was fed up, the mother, and she said they will not take it. They said they can't because he doesn't have a case. I said, what you mean he don't have a case? What the really? You know, I can't cuss anymore. Well, not that I cuss. I make up my words, supposedly. That's the lie that I told myself. Until my husband was like, nah, baby, even though if you say CHIT, my girl Sweet Pea, no, that was my word. She said, he said that's cussing. So I can't. So if y'all hear me saying weird words, it's me cussing on a good note. Okay. And so I called the prosecutor, called the clerks of courts to verify. Prosecutors didn't answer. So I left 2 messages. The Spirit of God say, call so-and-so department. Yes, my name is, I don't even tell these people my name half the time. Yes, I'm not sure if I'm in the right department. You got to play a fool to catch one. But if someone can help me, please. Sure, hon, what you need? Yes, I'm looking for such and such. Well, honey, let me transfer you to the records department. Get to the records department. Such and such. How can I help you? I'm writing down names, times I called, documenting everything, who I talked to, who I spoke, everything. You hear me? So She said, well, what's the case number? I know my client's case is out of the back of my hand, out of my heart. You see? And so give them what I need. They need it. The date of birth, I don't need social security numbers, folks. I don't need that unless you're going through something else. I actually require it in the deeper end. And so I just work with what I have. So don't forget to grab your daily heart me as well and claim your points. And so for engaging. And so she said, wow. I said, wow, what, ma'am? She said, there's a refuse. I said, refuse what? What does that even mean? She said, I can't tell you much, can't talk about it, just request the records. So while she on the phone talking, I'm requesting the records. So not even a day and a half, I'm getting the email back saying, okay, it's been submitted. Here's that. I get the arrest records that same evening. Guess what was attached to it? A refusal letter. The prosecutors refused, the judge refused, the courts refused to prosecute him. You know how long this man been on it? 2.5 plus going on a year. So that's 3 years, my friends, right? 3 years, literally. So when were y'all going to tell this man that he had this letter attached? So what it was, the police department or the whoever did they dirt, because they did Joe dirt. I have witnesses to this. I have some of my team leads, my clients can witness to this. And they had this man still on this monitor for 3 years. Then he's still paying the monitor fee on house arrest. Isn't that sad? House arrest. He losing his mind. His family sad. He's sad. It's just a burden. So long story short, my question is, who got him on this monitor? Who? He ain't even been to arraignment. He hasn't even been to a hearing. 2.5 years to 3, he ain't even been to not one arraignment. Are you kidding me? I do my absolute most. So the refusal letter in all caps with the letterhead of the prosecutor said, we refuse to take this case. We refuse to charge. We refuse it. In Collin, Texas, the district attorney in Collin County, the same place where Kamalo Anthony is at. I've been dealing with these people for a year and I ain't even know nothing about Kamalo Anthony. God knows I wish I could, because all these people saying that they advocated and this and that, they showboats, and I don't go for that. All of them, literally. So, yeah, you know what that letter said? Give him his bond money back. If he's incarcerated, let him go, release him, in all caps. Everything. So when was y'all gonna tell him? When was y'all gonna let him know? We're talking about the truth here. Truth, justice requires facts. The fact is he been released. He ain't had no case, and y'all was trying to figure out how y'all was gonna clean up until justice had y'all in the grip net now. Now the sheriff don't want to talk to me in Collins County, Texas. You don't want to talk to me. You know why? Because the truth is already out, and y'all afraid of what God's gonna do to y'all. You know how big this lawsuit is about to be? Under the 42 USC 1983. And don't let him have no mental issues. That's gonna be the 1985, baby. That's generational wealth for his whole entire existence. And this is how I roll with justice. Justice requires transparency. Justice requires accountability. Justice requires people who are willing to ask difficult questions and seek understanding. That is me all the way. So y'all need to do the same thing. You're willing to ask difficult questions and seek understanding. There's no such thing as a stupid question and a smart question. You see what I'm saying? So these are things, right? So the truth may be uncomfortable. The truth may challenge the system. I challenge the system, baby. Let's do the darn thing. And if you are a law firm and you on the outside and you watching me, because now that the client that you have is now my client, I'm happy that you can join in or outside looking and on a mission, because I'm just gonna find the truth, and God's gonna pull out your skeletons, which you've been compressing with all the clients that you crossed and railroaded over time. It's time. Your time is up, and you're about to be exposed through justice. Not me, through God. That's all I want to say to y'all folks on the outside looking in. Attorneys, law firms, and state actors. Because they watching me. They want to know who I am in Washington, D.C. Because one of my clients got incarcerated and his family couldn't afford to get him out. So I worked and I got his stuff sent to him by UPS, right? I call it UPS. People like, it's not UPS, Portia, UPS. And so he had a meeting with the judge, was acting real funky, literally. So what happened was the judge say, he said, Portia, I don't really understand some of the stuff. He said, but whatever was in those motions that you sent me for as my legal education, and what you helped me with as my advocate. Oh, thank you. All right, the dragon. Let's put some Jesus on that dragon. And so it was the habeas corpus. That's the most powerful one the judges have to acknowledge. Because I was rocking back and forth because he had a video hearing with the judge. He said the judge was really rude to me until the judge's assistant gave him my motions and my paperwork. And he said the judge started frowning and started treating me better. He started treating me nice. He started talking to me differently. I'm sitting here waiting on my client out in Washington, D.C., pacing back and forth. I haven't heard from him. I get a phone call. He been in jail for doggone 2 weeks. Right? And they tried to make him incompetent, but he wasn't going because we had terminated his public defender before then, which she was upset about and rude and disrespectful in the court hearing at the judge. And this crazy. But anyway, so long story short, I get the phone call and it was actually his phone ringing. And he said, girl, I'm out. I said, thank you, God. Thank you, Jesus. He is out. You hear me? And so while he was out, they arrested him while he was at the courthouse. So he had his own business truck. So I had to call the managers in the department to find where his truck was at. And so I had to oversee, and they told me, because he was worried about if they was going to tow it or not, because he couldn't, because he had merchandise of his products in there. And so one lady he did give me, however, she said that, thank you. She said, I want to help in any way I can. I said she ain't gonna help. She gonna cop out. So he had confidence. This is what I want to tell y'all. In any situation, please make sure that you have somebody, a backbone strong for you. It can't be a person that you think that they might help you, or maybe when you get yourself, because you don't know when you get in these situations and the world turn their back against you. The world turn their back against you. People that say they love you. I'm talking about spouses, children, grandparents. All of these people will turn their back on you due to what the system had put out there based on your behalf in the system. You understand? They will give completely up on you before reading the facts, before reading your records and understanding your case. They will take their side. Before I had to stand with people. My client will tell you, he'll come up in a few. He's going to tell you his testimony of what happened. So the truth may expose injustice. The truth may require change, okay? But the truth also sets people free from fear, confusion, and silence, right? So that's what the truth is about, considering the facts. Because these are things that I find in some of the cases. I have to stay on my notes. That's why I'm trying to stay a course. So before I get in on my other thing, on my topic of for the Court Survival Sunday, which would be a few things, key points that I want y'all to understand to help y'all. And I don't have that problem. I don't have, most of my clients that come to me, their stuff is dropped and dismissed because rights weren't exercised. When you go through these type of things, you have to know, my friends, and understand what I'm telling you. Don't go off of what a public defender say. Don't go off of what an attorney say, paid one. Don't go off of what the judge say. Even when I put out stuff, because we are the Real Result community, right? I tell y'all all the time, the ones that familiar with me, I tell the people that look like us, people that's different. You understand? It's not about skin color. It's not about a tone. It's about who the system think that they can get over on. Okay? So I want to make sure that, hold on, they want me to do this little puzzle thing. Make sure I'm not a robot. and I ain't, because I ain't. And so my heart is, I don't have a passion for justice. I love justice, okay? And so with passions, you burn out, right? And so people want to know, Portia, are you an attorney? No, I'm not an attorney. I don't give legal advice. Just know that I'm not your ordinary advocate at all. I don't. I am. If you're still in here, is it possible that you can come up? I don't know if you can, to give them. I'm gonna see if I can invite you up. If you tell them what happened this past, goodness of what happened, well, these past 2 weeks, and how long you've been dealing with this. Until he come up, if y'all can write down, y'all, the topic would be why you must know your own case. Now I'm picking back off of the this Court Spring series that we have. We're actually doing a recap. This is I Am, y'all. He lives out in Texas. He's in Denton County, Texas. Um, he's in Texas where everything is big, and when I tell you things are big, so listen to what he have to say, y'all, and you can't make this stuff up. And he'll tell you. Go ahead. I am.
You want me to start from the beginning? I don't know where you. Well,
Just tell them what you've
to
been dealing with.
okay, to give a short summary, I got arrested for resisting arrest, failure to identify a fugitive, and driving while license invalid. I've been familiar with the courts. I've been working on my case, trying to get it resolved and get it dismissed by submitting affidavits and things like that. I wasn't getting no traction. So I called Portia and I asked her to help me because I knew that this was a fight that I just couldn't fight alone. And for anybody hearing, I want y'all to know whatever you do, don't give up. Do not give up the fight. Don't ever take a plea deal because they betting on you not knowing your rights. So when Portia came along, she started doing paperwork and stuff for me because I'm bad with paperwork. So um, long story short, it's been 2.5 years, and because of the work and the dedication that Portia put in into helping me, investing into my cases while everybody else was telling me to comply, telling me I was doing it wrong, telling me that I wasn't succeeding. I had the judge telling me that I wasn't gonna win. I was trading on thin ice. I was never gonna defeat him. Um, yeah, it's a lot. It was long. It was tough. They was trying to break me. They almost broke me. And Portia, she knows that they almost broke me. I called her a few times where I wanted to do something, to take vengeance in my own hands. But I'm gonna tell you, the hardest part is when you know the law and then you feel hopeless trying to fight these people because they want you to give up. And um because of the help that I had from Portia, even, well, I'm not gonna say have because we still working on some other things. um you can hear me, right? um so this judge, he constantly was telling me that I wasn't gonna make it. I wasn't gonna do nothing, and telling me I didn't know what I was doing. And now him and his whole team is out of the court because of all the paperwork that Portia helped me with. We're filing these harassment charges. The judge had in a note that if any police encounter me, that I was to be arrested. And he kept telling me that I wasn't gonna win. And every time he told me that I wasn't gonna win, I looked him in his face and I said, "That's what you believe. You could believe what you want to believe." And I told him I always win in the end. And he told me to make sure I was there on my trial date, to bring myself and my attorney. And I told him I was gonna bring more than that, because I was gonna bring God with me. Because I told him that he could not play God and that he was not above the law. And that's the thing. In these courts, these people think that they're above the law. They think that they know everything. They think that because they have a few good wins, they think that
Abuse
they're
of
gonna
authority.
always win.
Abuse of
And
authority.
right. And so, for whoever out there listening, I want you to know that no matter what your case is, I don't care if it's a ticket and I don't care if it's manslaughter. These courts do not have any evidence against you. From the time the police arrest you, they have already kidnapped you because they violated every one of your 26th Amendment rights when they arrest you, because you are supposed to be proven innocent until proven guilty. You are not supposed to be incarcerated until you have been found guilty by a jury of your peers. So if you have a case, no matter what it is, and if you've been arrested, just know that all the odds is in your favor if you don't give up.
Did you tell them that they dismissed all three of your cases and they just conjured up another one?
Oh, right. So they dismissed all of my cases. One case, because of all the work that well, I'm gonna say Portia did, because she did all the paperwork. And I'm grateful,
Don't be telling my
extremely grateful.
business.
I'm
I
extremely
just don't.
grateful for that, because, like I said, I'm bad with paperwork, and I knew how to file motions and stuff, but I was using templates and just in my own right. But anyway, they dismissed my resisting arrest, my failure to identify fugitive, my my driving while license invalid, and then the, due to the harassment, I have been uh, so in this process, I've been arrested about 9 or 10 times
Y'all, literally,
since
y'all.
since it started.
Every time I turn around, his mom called me. They got him again.
And
Every time I
right,
took notes, I documented. Every time they did, I called up there to the jail and got up on their necks. They didn't want to deal with me, but I'm letting them know that I'm documented. And I just go completely professionally ham and turkey and bacon. I just do. And
right,
stuff. I have a timeline. My timelines be. I don't want to use certain words, but my timeline, baby, you cannot challenge justice. You just cannot do it.
right. And I have one case that they didn't even want to touch, because the police pulled me over. They they ran my name, and the moment he ran my name, he comes to my car and he says, "This is a stolen vehicle." And I'm like, "Sir, this is not a stolen vehicle. I had this car since it was brand new." Well, technically brand new, but he ended up telling me, you know, well, the car is stolen. It's been reported stolen. And I'm like, "Sir, this car came from a dealership. It's not stolen." I'm explaining to him. I gave him all the paperwork to the car. I had it registered in a friend's name because I was already going through harassment with the courts and stuff, that I didn't want to register it in my name. And so the police said, "Well, I can't get you for a stolen vehicle. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to let you know you're going to jail anyway." And he gave me failure. No, what was it, Portia? Unauthorized use of a vehicle. So they arrested me for
Oh yeah,
unauthorized use of a vehicle, and that case never even made it to court. And so now
none
they
of them.
still
No,
have,
listen. Tell them how the judge challenged you. Tell them how he challenged you on the 4th of June, and told he'll see you in court. And
right.
tell them how you.
So I went to court June 4th, and I walked in there. I'm sitting down. The sheriff comes up to me, and he says, "Oh, the judge says that you have to wait till end the court to get a new trial date since you didn't show up for a trial. And I said, well, I never
It
received
is
the
so
trial
weird.
date, so I don't know what to tell you. And so I told him, I said, I'm gonna step out and make a call. So I stepped out. I called Portia. I told her what was going on. She said, well, go back in there and ask them, could they give you um the trial date um through email and send it to you or me, where you could be able to go to work. So I go back and I ask the sheriff, and the first thing he said, "You're not supposed to be on the phone." And I know that I don't care because you don't have the authority to tell me I can't be on my phone because I pay my phone bill and I'm on this side of your podium, so I'm not in your water yet. But anyway, that's
Hmm.
another story. That's a story for
Yeah.
another day. But
He
he
sat on the
he
phone
told me that
45
I
minutes.
couldn't. Yep, I kept her on the phone. I asked them. They told me no. They denied me. I said, well, I'm going outside. I'm going to finish my call. We stayed on the phone for about 45 more minutes, and then he comes out and he says, "You just missed your trial date." And I'm like, "I'm still here." And he was like, "Okay." And so he told me to go talk to the judge. I got off the phone with Portia. I walk up in there. And the judge said, your trial date is on the 11th. Now, mind you, this is the 4th. You can't give me a trial date on the 11th with no discovery, no information, no nothing to be able to prove my innocence. So, um, he told me that it was on a trial date, and I said, well, I'm gonna need more time because I think I might have to hire an attorney. And he said, well, we gave you a public defender. I said, I didn't want a public defender. I'd rather pay for an attorney and I need to pay $10,000. And he said, the attorney is charging you $10,000? And I said, yeah. And he said, we have a lot of attorneys in here. I said, I don't want a Denton County attorney. He was like, well, that's stupid. And I said, no, it's not. I said, I want a
Hey.
attorney from a different county because I don't want any of your coworkers to represent me. That would be stupid. And
Hmm.
so he was like, well, like I said, we gave you a court appointed attorney. There's plenty of attorneys in here. And I said, yeah, but I don't want them. And he told me, you're not gonna win. And I said, I'm not looking to win. I'm looking to be free. And so he told me, he says, well, um, do you understand that I'm telling you you're not gonna win? And I said, no, I don't. And he said, you don't understand me? I said, he said, you understand what I'm saying? And I said, I don't understand you, but I understand every word that is coming out of your mouth. I said, but that's what you believe. You believe that I'm not going to win. And I said, do you think you're above the law? Do you think you could play God? I said, because I don't know what to tell you. And he says, well, I'm the judge. And I'm telling you that everybody that come in this court pro se
Hmm.
loses, and you trading on thin ice. And I told him in his face, and I said, I don't care. That's what you believe. And he told me, he said, well, I'm just telling you as a judge that you're not gonna win. I said, oh yeah, because you're the judge, right? And he said, yes, I'm the judge. And I said, no, you're not a judge. Judges don't have bar association numbers. I said, you, sir, are not a judge. You are an attorney that's playing to be a judge. And he told them to get me out of his court. Sir, you ain't got to put me out your court. I didn't ask to be here. I leave.
Right.
You don't have to put me out. I go. And he said, make sure you have your attorney with you and bring yourself on your trial date. And I said, I'm going to bring more than that. I'm going to bring God and some other stuff. And I walked out. So fast forward to the 11th, which was my trial date.
No, you
Um,
got. They dismissed it. They dismissed the
right,
same.
yeah. The next day, I got,
No,
I
it was the
got.
same.
It was the
It
same day.
was it was the same day because you was like, wait a minute, I'm confused. Did you,
It
Portia? Did you
was.
file in these? You filing
It
these
was the
motions? I
same
said
day.
now. I said no. You know I can't file no motions for you. He said
You're right.
it said dismiss. It was the district attorney signing off for the courts to dismiss all three of his cases
Right.
before
Right. It was the
June
same
the
day.
11th. So June 11th, he went to the court, and what did you see?
I went to the court and I walked in there and I looked at the judge and the judge looked at me. I looked at the sheriff looked at me. It's completely different people. The judge and
Very
his
moving.
whole staff was gone.
Gone.
Even the sheriff, they all was gone. And I'm grateful. I'm grateful for the help that Portia gave me because I know I couldn't do it on my own because no matter how much you know about the law, some battles you just can't fight alone. Even David against Goliath, David had to look towards God to give him that stone to be able to take down Goliath. So we always need that rock that's behind us to be able to protect us and help us on our journey. So I want everybody that's listening to keep that in mind that you always have to have God and somebody that you can trust to be by your side because it's not easy. And when you trying to go against these judges and these attorneys, you have to be ready for the backlash because some of them may not do it, but others may. And it's not going to be an easy fight. But as long as you don't give in and you don't give up, everything will work out.
Yeah. And so I know I had done a follow up to call the clerk of court to see actually um, to be sure because what had happened with him is they'll tell him he have a court date and he'll go, but when he go here, then he get arrested and or they'll put a warrant out on him without him knowing and say he missed court. So that's the type of harassment that he kept getting. But what the judge didn't know, what he didn't know was that last year were motions that were filed in. He filed I am filed in motions. He filed in motions under by me, working with him. And so I called to confirm with the clerk of court because they never gave him copies. Now we had a gatekeeper at the clerk of courts, and I have documentation and paper trail where the district attorney, Mr. You know who, and y'all don't know, but I can't say no names. I don't want them to have a reason to try to have me. People need me out here in these streets, and they love to have they would love to have me behind bars on unlawful practice of law, which I do not operate in at all. And so I stay in my lane. I'm not here to replace them attorneys or public defenders. I would never do that. But the judge didn't know that he had filed in motions behalf, but there was gatekeeper, and I was on the phone with him when he spoke to the district attorney to turn over the paperwork to request for his discovery. Also, he filed in. So I confirmed with the clerk because they never gave him copies. They said they'll email it. Now, everybody know that don't leave the courthouse without those motions. You can't go by what they say. But thank God that he preserved I am's paperwork on the dockets. It made it to the dockets, filed and scanned in. And that's what the district attorney went by. And that's the reason why they dismissed it, because they don't have anything. You know why they dismissed it? Because what they say they have, they don't. Now, if they say that they not willing to go to trial, or they try to throw you something, baby, that's when the red flags need to go up immediately. If they're saying, oh, well, take this plea deal because they don't want to go to trial. Hey, it's not half the time they say this, have that stuff on you. It's not what they say. They scare you into taking plea deals. And that's the God honest truth. So what they didn't know is that previously prepared and what we had filed in, as I am did, a motion to compel discovery demand, discovery request, motion for a continuance because he needed more time at that time, a notice of pro se appearance to let them notify that he was, a Ferretta waiver, election of counsel, a motion to recall and squash the CAPAS, right? Pre-trial writ of habeas corpus, a motion to recuse the judge. That means to get the judge up out of here. Get him up out of here. Verified affidavit supporting recall of the judge. We had an affidavit, baby, to recall you because this is what you was doing. And that paper trail was there and the evidence was backed it with the exhibits. You see what I'm saying? Motion to status conference, right? A notice acknowledgement of discovery, non-compliance. They ain't want to comply. You ain't want to give it to us? All right. Administrative documents. his table of contents, exhibit index, executive summary, case over summary, master timeline is what I provide for my clients, right? And let's not forget about that certification of service, proposed order, because judges just love to see those. Okay. So they dismissed all 3 of his cases. They say, okay, he has one that's active, which he already just said which one was active. That was July the 14th. And baby, I'm gonna be honest with you. And this is no showboat or no ego boosting or nothing like that. But that's a domino effect. So I don't even know why y'all even trying to keep that court date up, baby. It's out. It's already knocked out. Like what
They
y'all?
just trying to get more money.
We're gonna file in. He's gonna file in this week. Okay. So for that petty thing that y'all want to hold on to try to protect y'all to hold on to something. But I wouldn't be surprised if they go ahead and have that in the email saying they dismiss on the dockets. And the dockets, write down, if you have your pen and pad, write down dockets. That's DOCKETS, dockets. They don't, dockets, baby. Dockets is just like when you go in some, hey, I know y'all saw, we're going to say a movie because some people have this situation going on. If you go and you look in the movie and they turn the lights on and all them roaches scattered, that's what the dockets is. That's you looking at them dockets, some roaches gonna scatter. What are those roaches? State actors just suppressing the truth. They being exposed. They don't want you to pay attention to that. Prime example, one of my clients in one of my biggest cases that made the news out here in Atlanta. I know y'all saw it in Valdosta, Georgia, with 3 suspects. 2 of those guys I advocate for. And so we get here. I've been standing on these people's neck, the prosecutor's neck. You have to stay on their neck. Listen, you have to stay on your attorney's neck. You have to stay on the prosecutor's necks. You have to stay on these public defenders' necks. You have to stay on it, right?
Can I say something about the dockets since you mentioned the dockets?
Sure, of course.
Okay, so I want everybody on here to understand that when it comes to these dockets numbers that these people give you, and when you go to get your discovery, one of the things that, because I've been in traffic court for over 20 years, this is my first time dealing with criminal and civil. And so one of the things I learned about these docket numbers is when you're fighting these criminal civil cases, they don't have no evidence against you. So when you go to get your discovery, they don't want to give it to you. And then if they let you review it, they gonna throw you 176 pages of a discovery report that's full of redundancies to confuse you and make you not want to read it or not want to look at it. And that's one of the tactics that they use to make you give up, because they're gonna give you this whole big old stack of papers, this big packet of all these different things and
Stuff they say
documents,
gonna use.
and it's full of redundancies, and most of it should just be blank pages.
Right.
if you
Literally.
want to ask me. And so when these people use these tactics against you, you have to take everything with a grain of salt, because the first 10 pages of those 176 pages are going to be the most important pages of your life to pay attention to.
Mm-hmm. I'm gonna piggyback off of what you said about the dockets. I mean, discovery, because it's so true. My client out, like I said, the Valdosta, Georgia case with 3 suspects on the live and a young man. And I saw the video. I have to see everything, right? Because if it's a part of discovery, I can't even tell y'all half the stuff I do. I don't even talk about it, right? And so, long story short, shame on the detectives. Shame on y'all. Such a shame on y'all, detectives. Pay attention to those detectives when they such a shame. I'm not even gonna talk about it. But anyway, they gave my guys this discovery, right? They want him as a star. And so they on this, let's hold him in there until they break. So long story short, I go over discovery, review, I'm looking at it alongside with my clients and things like that and their family. Now, we all have the same thing. And especially it's different when you have co-defendants because everybody's evidence is different. But in that of what they give you in the police reports and the instigation and then the forensics of everything, I can't even tell y'all. They had like, I want to say 5 duplicates of the same stuff. So that the discovery that they had, if y'all don't know what a discovery is, for those, write down discovery. I have videos on this, but especially that boxing video, that's explaining what the discovery is. Y'all just have to look for it. I have boxing gloves on because, I was theatric in the beginning, to keep me in the enlightenment of, not boredom and things like that. Wanted to make it fun and education, and people love the content. But long story short, the discovery is everything that the prosecutors are going to use to prosecute you in the court of law. Everything they're supposed to present to the courts, the judge, the juries, the jurors, right? The people that select it. So a lot of people don't know dealing with things. You can pick and select your jury if you want to go to trial. And so that's why I don't want to talk about it. But Kamala Anthony was robbed out of picking his jury. And also, whoever was representing him ought to be ashamed of themselves. But anyway, I'm gonna leave that alone. But you can pick these people, and so I know on the dockets, I just here recently went and printed out my clients. In this case I'm talking about now with the duplicates of the unalived case for a kid. They putting family in the crosses because now all they know is these people did this. The facts of the findings doesn't say that. I don't care what the street's talking about. You actually have to put a person there on the scene as they done the crime. You have fingerprints, clothes, whatever it is. It's a twist to that case, but I don't even want to say it because we're still waiting for a hearing. And so with those dockets are paying attention because the families in survival mode, the mental capacity is not there. But I'm on the outside looking in. As I say, I have to fight like for my clients as if this is my own. You understand? So in that dockets, I found out that just calling the prosecutors, it wasn't even on the dockets of a court calendar hearing. And so his public defender is pushing for a plea deal. He's been in there 2.5 years. These guys going on 3, if not hit 3, pushing this plea deal. They were juveniles when they got. You see what I'm saying? Picked them up. Of course, 3 boys looking rough on the news as suspects. They were suspects. They not tied to it at all. I looked at the videos. I never saw so much blood in my life of a young kid with that much groom of. It was crazy. This kid was. Y'all should have saw how this kid was just laying there trying to live that lifestyle, and that's why it's important to teach our children the right way, to know what your children are doing, to know what type of life they live in. You know what I'm saying? Because when they get in front of the media, they're going to paint them as an angel, or, that child was thugging, literally. You ain't have nothing or her. See? Or these children act like angels where the man say, oh, all he did was just worked. He was a great kid. But meanwhile, at the ranch, he over here holding up X amount of pews, lasers on him, holding in the videos with smoke and that lifestyle. So these are all things that these public defenders get most. I saw the money that they get for these people. So y'all mean to tell me y'all get money to support them and getting paid? That's what I'm saying. This is my point. We about to get to it. I think I'm done. I'm about to get ready to, because I know you want to drop sometimes in the chat. But I thank you for coming up if you want to. You want me to go ahead and drop you?
It's up to you. I'm good either way. I'll go in the comments, and you can probably have somebody else say what they have to say. But I just want to say,
no. I'm not calling people up yet.
Oh, okay.
I'm not calling people up yet.
Okay. Well, I
You can
still
step that if you want to drop.
want to say,
I said you can, if you want to stay up there, you can, or you want to drop, it's fine.
Oh, I'll stay up
I'm about
there.
to get deep in this.
It don't matter.
Stay up there. Stay up there. Stay up there. It's all right. So this is why I'm saying to y'all, and I hope that this is where y'all start taking y'all notes, because nobody gonna fight like you gotta fight for your case in your life. I have people now that has post conviction reliefs awaiting, and I can tell you that judges about to go down in this one. Detectives, sergeants, These are deep people in the findings, because who gave it's I'm telling you, the stuff that I find in this, you would not believe, or you would believe. And that's why it's important to know these things. Okay. It's a time now where okay. So my thing is, you cannot, what if you plead but haven't been sentenced? They have to put it in, Brittany. I don't believe in plea deals. They have to, because half that stuff they say they have in that discovery, a reason why they don't give you the discovery. Y'all can come up in a little bit to answer y'all, ask y'all questions. I got to keep going like the Energizer Bunny, because I don't want to lose my momentum. You have to wait. That's why I have them videos up. You have to see what stage you in, where you'll be able to. They have calendar hearings to see where your case status at. And then once you have that, then you have to go before the court to see if they're ready to go to trial or not. Or if you want to, you should have already been through that. You just have to wait for it. If something missing out of that discovery, Miss B, that's a red flag. And it's multiple things that you can exhaust. That's why I have I have videos up for plea deals down in the bottom. And y'all excuse me, I know I look a little rough in that. I look a little rough. You hear me? That's when I was throwing content out, and I had to do other stuff, and I had to throw it out. I couldn't let the real result community sink, because I was slipping out here in the streets. You see? Running errands. So this is my thing. Why you must know your own case, right? And these are things that I deal with, that I got the list together, that I've been dealing with. Why it's essential for you. Okay? For one, no one cares about you more, about your case, more than you do. Nobody don't care about you. Look at it that way. When anytime you have any case, they don't care about you. You know what the judge always tell people? I sleep good at night. Oh no, you didn't miss it. We still here. You made it. You might have missed some talking in the beginning and stuff like that, but you didn't miss what we're going over. You didn't miss it. You're right on time, actually. Grab your pen and pad. I'm going to give y'all a prison story, too, of one of my clients is incarcerated, what they've been dealing with as well, and how we're seeing movement. I don't like one of my clients' attorneys, I'm going to pause right quick. One of my clients' attorneys, I would have said that he agitated me on Friday because he was being a butthole. So it's like he wanted me, I don't know what he wanted me to be for him. He didn't want to give me no evidence. I mean, he didn't want to give me my client's case file as he requested. Now, I do become my client's power of attorney for let me say that, limited power of attorney for administration only. I have to do that because these people are diabolical. I'm telling you what I know. And they don't give me no hard problems like that. I don't. They just like, okay, give it to her. Let's back up. We don't want to be in the public eye because she has a podcast. I do not have a podcast. He was trying to give me the hardest time. He wanted to know exactly what I do. He wanted to know I told him, I don't want to, baby. I do not care. I don't give a fat rat's butt of what your strategy is. Because we're going to make sure that we're on top of your neck and we're going to be 20 steps ahead of you. That's all I know. So whatever you're trying to pull out of me to make me to be unlawful practice of law, you're not. I can't even tell you how many Florida cases I got. Florida is another state that I deep in heavy. New York. I can keep going on and on. I'll have a testimony thing up. The biggest one that I have now that irks me is Mobile, Alabama. I don't know what they think they about to do. I have California cases. There's in the States, somebody even reached out to me to New Mexico. I said, I don't even know if I want to go, but I don't even know. But people are reaching out to me international now. I did have to help somebody international with their case. And the Dominican Republic, Spanish. I had to translate that stuff. So it takes focus. And reason why I don't like people, I don't want to have people to come in Tennessee, baby. I can't even tell you. That judge up there last time, he tried to give me a felony E, baby. I said, well, if he wants to try to stick something like that to me for being an advocate, then we can go to trial. He fell back. Kentucky. I'm all 50 states. All my content is for all 50 states. Every state. I roll solo from state to state. Y'all have to go dip down in the content of what I do and what services I give as an advocate. I'm not your ordinary advocate. My team, my clients can tell you that. So why you must know about your own case, right? No one cares about your case more than you do. I don't care if you have a public defender or paid attorney or if you just pro se. Because people that say they love you give up on you due to whatever allegations are made. And a lot of times the evidence that they say they have, I'm going to be honest, listen to what I'm saying. A lot of times it's not what baby. My case in Atlanta, Georgia that made the news, the biggest one that I have, told them, thank you. He said, Mrs. Such told the mother, Mrs. Such and Such, we have video footage. He was adamant about this video footage. I said, I was so confident, baby, due to the discovery and the paperwork of all those duplicates so kindly that they sent over. Red Rover sent it right over. I said, okay, send them. You know how long it took me to get those and pull them out of him? He couldn't go no longer because justice got him in a chokehold, meaning God had him in a chokehold, right? So what happened was he finally stopped giving a runaround because, what you going to do? This is paper trail, and you see how we coming on dockets, baby. You see how we coming. Go ahead and suppress. Go ahead with the fruit of the poisonous tree. Go ahead, baby. And you was already terminated on paper. But don't worry, since you won't serve the district attorney, I will do it. I will make sure that I print off all 345 pages off the dockets of my clients and send it with a green slip to you for you to sign off on it. You, the district attorney. How about that? Okay? That's how I come. I'm going to exhaust the remedies. A lot of times attorneys know procedure. They don't know law. Same with police officers. They barely know the law and procedures because otherwise, why we about to be out here in these streets having these issues? Y'all police reports be messed up and I be seeing it. So is it July 16th of 2025 or is it July the 1st? Which one you want to choose? That means if you contradicting a lot of things, that means your words are not credible. Don't play with justice. You see? So you have to mean what you say, and I make sure that my clients if you don't know what date actually it was, we're gonna say approximately about the month of A, B, and C, whatever. Baby, justice, we come correct. We do. We gon' the power is not to be in your emotions, because when you're in your emotions, you can't fight and you're not going to win. You can't win out of your emotions. You got to come out of your emotions and your feelings. That's one thing. That's the number one thing. I know you're frustrated. I know you're angry. I know you're in survival mode. I know that you out here worried and you're on edge. Come out of that. Don't tell me it's easily said as done. You're just going to have to do it. You're going to have to. You can't talk to these people caught crazy on the phone. When they get upset, then let them get upset, right? So this is my thing. I went to Douglas County in Georgia with one of my clients. It's her advocate. Y'all, thank you for the gifts if I'm looking down. And she tried to push her into something that she didn't need to, right? She didn't explain. She just sent her. She didn't explain to her what rights she was giving up. I don't know about y'all, but in the business of taking a plea deal, that means that you're waiving all your rights. I had one of those questions on the list. If I do take a plea deal, what rights am I giving up? You know what that attorney told my client? All of them, as a U.S. citizen. All of them. And that's why the 14th Amendment is a necessity to understand. You see, I don't just be talking. These are facts of things I'm dealing with throughout the nation. That's why I'm a nationwide advocate, because people out here hurting. Families out here being destroyed. Mothers crying over their sons. You see, fathers losing their lives. Just the multiple things. Family court, civil court, criminal court, I see it all. Probate court robbing them, the probate court robbing people. Not while the family trying to sort things out, they milking the family. You understand what I'm saying? Pulling people apart. So that's why I have a desire to serve justice for the injustice system that we live in today. Notice that I said system. That's all I'm talking about. Medical people, the hospitals, because you can request itemized copy. They're not going to give you if you're struggling with a bill, request the itemized bill. They won't tell you that they have a nonprofit organization to where you can get your medical bills paid for free. They give you money, medicine, certain things. But guess what? I advocate and communicate that with the Real Result community, us. This is not my community. This is our community. This is not my platform. I'm just a vessel. This is our platform where we get Court Survival Sundays because we got to go through the week. We got to make it through the week in our life. You see what I'm saying? These people drive you mental if you allow it. So we have content out here to get on, to understand what attorneys are supposed to help people with. And I know attorneys out here watching me in these law firms. I know these people out here watching me in Washington, D.C., and Texas. I know y'all are. I know it. But y'all sleeping good at night because y'all are so used to robbing people blind. Y'all didn't, thank you. You don't have to have a pew. Y'all robbing people blind. You see? So let me tone it down a little bit. I'm not showboating. I don't showboat for nobody. Y'all mad at me as a civil rights advocate because I'm on y'all neck with justice. I'm going to tell y'all a storyline after this with one of my clients to deal with. And I pray I'm in Georgia and the power don't go out because it's flickering. Okay? Even if you have an attorney, you should understand what is happening. They will not tell you. That is my responsibility as an advocate. Don't I, Miss Kimberly? That's my Mobile, Alabama mama. That's when I made that video about the racism still exists. They brought me back to Rosewood, baby. Rosewood, you hear me? And that's another story. So read your court documents. Y'all understand what I'm saying? Read your court documents. We want Court Survival Sunday, so we're doing a rundown on the Court Spring series that I already have out. Videos. I have 13 videos out to help you stay on top of game. There's no reason why you should get railroad now. Because you have to fight. You can't fight in emotions, people. Okay? Friends, you can't. Ask questions until you understand. I don't care if you have to read like rodeo on that movie. You hear me? I don't care if you have to read like rodeo. You go slow. And I told my clients, I tell my clients, I say, do not look at their faces. Okay? Don't look at their faces. Know your case number, charges, court dates, and deadlines. If you have problems calling your attorney, stop calling them. Call a law firm or the public defender's office and get an email address. I'm telling you, I had people on their stuff for 2.5 to 3 years. I just came on social media last year of July to give out just information, but it got too big for me because too many people were calling out to me. One of my clients in Chicago, her case already been done. She in the statute of limitations for a lawsuit. It's done and settled. You know how much she getting back because of her civil rights, her civil constitutional rights was being violated. That's why I tell y'all have to know this stuff because you're sitting on generational wealth. 3 million. 3. And she winning so far. I got people in federal court winning their cases. You can't, I hate this. I don't know if I should say this or not, but since I'm a bunch and my husband's so real, he said, you can't piss on me and tell me it's raining. And I'm gonna leave it at that. Lord, if I'm cussing, forgive me. I repent tonight. Okay. So will you be able to, explain your case? I knew talk about my attorney. Not my attorney, my client's attorney in the courtroom in Douglasville. I did stop. So what she did was got mad because she didn't tell my client what rights she was giving up. She didn't explain. She sent through the email. And I always encourage, as legal education, read through everything before you sign anything, because you never know what's in the fine print. I told her, don't read anything. I'm going to sign nothing until we go over it, until your attorney go over it. She sent me over that. I was heartbroken. She sent me over that plea deal, that the version of what it was without, hey, just sign it and send it back right away. She wasn't communicating with her. My client, she got aboard eventually. She says first attempt, communication, second attempt, communication, third attempt. I said, after that third attempt, baby, it's a wrap. We print it off. We put it into a compliance acknowledgement to the courts and let them know what's going on, because the judge don't know until you put it on the dockets of what's going on. When you start doing stuff like that, it's either two things going to happen. Two things. They're going to kick them off the case, right? Or they're going to get right. And 10 out of 10, they getting kicked off that case. And then you can get them for malpractice, effective counsel. And you have proof to back it up, because it's a paper trail. That's why I said, don't argue with not nobody no more. Don't argue with the judge. Don't argue with the sheriff. Don't argue with the bailiff. Don't argue with the clerk of courts. Don't argue with nobody. You know why? Just take notes, be friendly. Hey, what was your name again? I know y'all noticed they start taking signs and names down out of the clerks of courts. But when the courts get involved in the federal lawsuit, they have to let somebody know who's working that day. You ain't got to fish for it. They're going to let you know when they get subpoenaed by the marshals. That's why I encourage y'all, stop getting in your emotions, baby. It's not that serious anymore. Document, document, document. We have to learn to always carry the pen and pad. That's your power now. The word of God says, write the vision and make it plain, baby. All you're doing is document for your generational wealth. If they want to violate and they don't know the law because they signed under oath that they would do a good deed of a peace, then so be it. And if they violated that, that's their issue. That's their problem. It's not yours. Worry about self, okay? And family of the situation is what's going on moving forward. No more getting your feelings. I know it's frustrating, people. I know it is. But when you get your timeline together and you start asking all the right questions, meaning the questions they don't want you to ask, document that, create you a timeline, and boom. Exhaust the remedies of federal court. Stay on your public defenders. Email them. If they saying you can't get your discovery, we ain't argue with him. What we asked him about, 3 times for it in all several ways? And he still refused. I said, well, refusing. You know what? Yeah. I said, no worry. We'll this week come Monday. Come Monday, this week, he gonna get what he asking for. Okay? So when he get what he's asking for, then it's gonna be on the dockets. So y'all wanna violate the constitutional rights, and y'all still want somebody to believe that since they pro se, they don't have a right to their discovery. We're in the constitutional rights. I mean, I think you need to go back to law school, my friend, because that high horse out of tradition that you've been doing for so long is violating the constitutional rights. Let's talk about the Brady violation. Brady versus Maryland. If you using it, whatever you're using against me, what you holding on for? What you hiding? Why you haven't given this man his discovery yet? And he been asking for 3 years. You see? It's not what they have. So by this scare tactics, I'm done with this scare tactics of putting people in fear of taking plea deals, because it's not what y'all have, baby. Because if this all y'all have in this unalive case that my clients have and several other clients that I had a judge and one of my clients called him a colored, and the jury agreed with him, and the prison held him. He's in false imprisonment. They've been blocking me since I've been on the case for getting his motions to him, his legal education to fight for his defense. And they put him on the sovereignty. I said, no worries. You know what we'll do? Fine. What we'll do is put it in the e-messaging, and you can handwrite it. And then you get the stamps from UPS and track it. And then when it reaches the court of clerks, I'm gonna make sure it's docket and filed in, because I know every single piece. I know the order of it. So organized. You are the weakest link. Goodbye. So let's talk about the Sixth Amendment, right? And public defenders stand firmly on the Sixth Amendment. Oh, they all about it, baby. In that article I read, they all about it. But you know what they also said? We have to always offer you a plea deal. He was so proud in that article. He said 99% of the defendants don't even make it to trial. So y'all training other people and generations for people to get railroaded. That's just simply what it is. So y'all just let me know that y'all not doing what y'all need to, and you should see. When y'all get a chance, Google and see how much money they fund in your jurisdiction, because sometimes they have 4 or 5 counties, and like in Georgia, they have like 4 or 5 counties. And Valdosta, Georgia is one of the counties that they oversee, and Loudoun County, over where that little boy got wrapped up in the mat. Yeah, paper lynching. Sure is. He was proud about it. And he looked like somebody from Rosewood and Mississippi burning. You can't tell me what I don't see. If it don't feel right, people, you might not understand your case. It's something wrong, right? So the Sixth Amendment provides right to counsel. These days, you got to counsel yourself and God. You hear me? Baby, Jesus got to be your counsel. Right to a speedy trial. So know that when you ask for a continuance, and you're not ready to go to trial, so you have to be careful with that time framing, because deadlines for courts is central. I don't care if you're going to arraignment, appeal, pre-trial. I know I skipped it, some stuff all mixed, but I'm just saying you have to know the stage. And I have videos for my Court Spring series on what stage you in. It's no reason for not to knowing, right? Right to public trial, right? A right to an impartial jury. You can pick your jury if you're gonna go to trial, and you better know the back history to find out if they're credible or not. You see what I'm saying? Because Tom, Dick, and Harry might have had a generation that done something, like one of my cases up here in the courts where the district attorney got arrested and made the news, made that big, baby, big. And what ended up happening, he ended up 6 months after he charged my clients before, way 2.5 years ago, for a crime. They was co-defendants, and 6 months later, he get incarcerated, get arrested, and take his bar. It's on the news. It's on the news. Atlanta, he made it. I have it on my page. You go down and stroll, you'll see who he is and what he done. So you have to make sure these people are credible, because who's checking their credibility, right? Right to confront witness against you. Baby, don't cross-examine the questions for my team leads. Boy, be off the chain. We asking your mama, they mama, and they mama too. You see, we asking your generation, cross-examining y'all generations. But seriously, you can have a right to ask the judge questions, the prosecutor, the people that's on the stand. You see, police officers. That's why it's important to get these records from the police department and get them certified. And this is legal education, by the way, because I know I have attorneys, law firms watching me all over the nation. I know they are, because they upset. And I know I have wardens across the nation watching me because they upset that they caught up. In Jesus' name. Oh, Lord. Let me find out. We got a tornado watch. One of my clients text me that's nearby, say the electricity off. Woo, I get lightheaded just then she say that. Right to call witnesses in your favor. Oh, okay. Praise God. I over here flickering in risk. So having an attorney does not mean you stop participating in your own defense. I always tell my clients this. Just because you have a public defender, don't trust your life with them. Your attorney, don't trust your life with them. You still have to prepare for your defense. I can't tell you how many clients I had to get prepared because they have paid attorneys. They have public defenders. And I still have to get them ready. I do. We be coming. We do. And you know one of my cases in Louisiana? They say, the judge say, his public defender tell him he got some white lady in Georgia helping him. She's a civil rights advocate. The judge said, I don't care what color she is. I said, well, if your public defender knew who I really was, he'd see that I have melatonin in my skin and I'm not white. What white lady I've ever known named to be Portia? But the judge took his side. You know why? Because we had paper trail of the communication. And those mofos are turning on the dockets for exhibits. Fine. If he don't want to put the motions in, then you get the arguments on the dockets of which you have the right to this stuff, but they won't tell you. They'll tell you anything. I'm all sick of it. Got me over here acting disordinate. I got professional people out there that took the bar, passed the bar watching me. Sixth Amendment, words, cast spells, counsel, not attorney. I'm done. Right. Y'all know about the Fifth Amendment. People trip me out. I plead the Fifth Amendment. But you have to finish saying the other things. Otherwise, the judge is going to, I have videos on this stuff. Otherwise, the judge is going to hold you accountable of what, and they're going to say that you're guilty. You can't just say, I plead the Fifth. You have a right to remain silent, and you have to say that you want to get an attorney, counsel. If that's the case. But if you go in there pro se, you can't go in there talking sovereignty. That's out. They're going to arrest you right there and then. I'm just being honest. The Fifth Amendment protects rights against self-incrimination. Now, when I was going through policing to become a police officer for the Cobb County Police Department, I can't imagine myself. I don't know what I was thinking. I think I was just excited and eager to help people. And I'm like, how am I helping somebody read their Miranda rights? Can you imagine? You have a right to remain silent. Anything you say will be used against you in the court of law. You have a right to attorney, appoint an attorney. Like, I can't be doing that. I'm not going to do that for the Vines, and I didn't. That's why Justice League was birthed, because I took the tour and I was so excited, and I started looking around in different stuff in the academy, which Cobb County has the best academy in the world. Well, I can't tell some of the stuff they be breaking in laws and let me stop. Let me stop. They don't know law. Otherwise, we wouldn't be here today. Okay. If they really knew law, we wouldn't be here today. Thank you, Nisi. We wouldn't be here today, right? We had that problem if they knew the law, right? I told them, I said, I was going to teach police officers the law. You know, I almost had a riot. I was joking. It was a joke. Okay, you have a right to due process protections. That's your 14th Amendment. Don't sleep on the 14th Amendment, and don't sleep on the 13th Amendment. If you're convicted with a crime, you're a slave, okay? Let's just say it that way. I have to say things raw and uncut. Protect against double jeopardy, okay? Right, so that's what I was talking about, the 14th Amendment, right? Due process, equal protections under the law. So that means that you have a right to exhaust the remedies of going to trial, presenting evidence, asking for your discovery. I have these things in my Court Spring series. I have videos individually on these things to educate you. Legal education, not legal advice, okay? What else? It's basically giving you a free opportunity. I only know, do y'all want to talk about the 13th Amendment? The 13th Amendment abolished slavery itself as punishment for a crime after a conviction. I just said that. So, the people say slavery don't exist, baby. Yes, it do. Commit that crime and see if you won't be in there doing sweat equity. They saying it right here. Now, nobody can come in my live or panel or chat, nothing, talking UCC 1-308 and all of these. I studied on common law. I studied Meet Your Straw Man. I know all of these. Hey, Goddess Warrior, haven't saw you in a long time. I've studied this stuff, so nobody can challenge me on this stuff. You know, I'm really heavy. I don't mind listening to Beethoven and jazz music and working with my clients on the other end in strategy mode. We've been in heavy hitter strategy mode this whole entire week. Clients didn't call me unless I really need to call and talk to them. Are they on your YouTube? Hold on. Yeah, they on YouTube. I got whole videos on my YouTube as well. I found out that people attraction goes to shorts. So I'll upload the shorts, then I have to go back and upload the full video. That's how I have to do it on YouTube. And by the way, don't forget to go subscribe my YouTube channel, because I don't know, TikTok be acting really funny. You have to have me. I'm also on Facebook and Instagram as well. Okay? Because Portia Justice League is y'all about to see, hey. So you have to go on there and see where to follow me at on these other platforms and stuff like that. I don't take Facebook serious when it comes to the inbox, because I mean they be over there trying to be somebody's sugar daddy, and I got a husband, so I ain't nobody tell you to send me that picture with your hat on, that church suit, that three-piece breast suit on, baby. They be get mad at me. Baby, I ain't tell you to pose and send that picture to me. I ain't asking for no sugar daddy. And baby, I don't definitely need one. Okay. Y'all know I got humor. I'm done with y'all. Y'all know how I am. I've been behaving. I've been on my best behavior. Oh, you can't make this stuff up. Boy, look like he about to go sing, "You better clean up what I messed up. Don't turn my life over again." Y'all play too much. See, that's why we don't never get nowhere on live. I ain't lying. I said, won't do this no more. Y'all know that song. I said, you better clean up, what you messed up. Don't start my life over again. That's what they be looking like. Anyway, so like I said, the 13th Amendment, they just be captured by all that. They be saying that too. And they be saying that, but I don't get boosted off of the compliments. I promise to God I don't. The beauty comes within. I care about that. Am I beautiful inside? How about that? Because some people be beautiful on the outside, supposedly, but they be ugly. And they ugly be steeping on the outside. So that matters to me. Get in your prayer closet. All right? Let God change and work on some of that ugly. All right, women? You can't cover up what's inside. It's going to show every time. I'm done with you, Jai. Jai ain't know you was here. When you make it. Jai don't made it, y'all. Look at Jai. He don't made it. Well, welcome. Right. I have a book on Amazon book that says, oh, it's behind me. Right here. Adore Beauty, Walking Beauty and Power Daily. It's on Amazon. Some of y'all women need to go get it if y'all dealing with some external issues of whatever the reason it might be. God is still good, right? Okay. So it still exists. I think this is the time. Wait, did I tell y'all? Oh, I did. I told the story about my client that's incarcerated and they false imprisonment. They have him in there 5.5 years, and they called him colored. Let his 180 days run out, and now we have some momentum. I mean, they love to see me coming up there. That clerk got mad at me. She said, "Wait a minute, is this Portia?" My little sweet voice. I said, "Yes, ma'am, it's me." "Yes, ma'am, it's me." She said, "I sent that out to you. We already sent that, and we already did this." I said, "Wait a minute, ma'am. That was way before my time. I'm his advocate now. That was way before my time." I be nice though. I be professional. I don't provoke people. I don't act like I'm the this and that. I don't do that. There's a saying: you gain more blank with honey than such and such. I can't say these words no more. You gain more bees with honey than poop. You gain more bees with honey than poop. Put my trust in God. Right. You better preach, honey. And he even said it. He said, putting out your trust in man for man to let you down. So why I'm going to sit there and put my trust in a public defender and attorney? Can't say the same. I even tell my clients, look, y'all gonna have to get this education. I'm sending y'all this stuff on to educate yourself as well. Y'all have to know your case too. Okay? Okay. Okay. I don't even do that. I don't even do this, but I'm just messing with y'all. Anyway, so the role of public defenders and attorneys. Oh, they roll. Public defenders often have large caseloads, okay? They a problem. Private attorneys also have limitations. They paralegals work for them. Attorneys understand procedure and courtroom practices. They don't know law half the time. Okay? I be in awe. I have to know it all. I have to be a know-it-all. And if I don't know it, I have to ask God to give me the endurance of the patience more and more. And they have loyalty to the court. Yeah, they do. Attorneys provide advice, but clients make informed decisions. So the advice they be giving, I don't even know. They need to label that somewhere else. Provide advice. They need to label that somewhere else. And I don't care if they, I don't care if they feel some type of way about it. And I'm not. Promise you with a sincere heart, I am not here to take their place. I am not. Lord knows I'm not. But the advice that they be giving, they may as well put you in one of those. What is it? So I like Queen Elizabeth, right? I like history. If people don't know, I go into history and I educate people on certain histories of where the civil rights, the constitutional rights was adopted. The civil rights was adopted. I give history on it, right? And so back then, where Queen Elizabeth had a sister named Mary. Mary was really jealous of her, and she had to turn the throne over to her when she passed away. Now she had a cousin. She had a cousin that was after her neck. She didn't want to unalive her cousin, but they found her in treason. So back then they had those. I don't practice law at all, baby. I wouldn't dare claim to practice law. I studied law on my own for over 17 years, and I'm sharing what I know to the community. I would not confess that out of my mouth. I am not an attorney, for God knows I'm not. I'm like, what's the name on Color Purple? Lord knows I'm not. And I don't give legal advice. God knows I don't. I could have said that better, but you had me going back. I'm a civil rights advocate, and I'm not your ordinary. I'm talking to somebody that came in here and asked me, do I practice law? Lord knows I don't. Y'all want boss to find out that I practice law? I don't do it. I'm not going to do it for the fines. See, he got me stirred up because I be cutting up sometimes. But anyway, you have to have humor. But, sometimes like when people see my face, it don't line up with the power. When I talk to them, it don't line up because I'm a whole different person behind the scenes. Like I can be all bubbly with y'all, but with them, I can't. I can't be bubbly with them, but they see the power that I possess through God. They see it. They see how we come. They be ashamed. They be disappointed. When they see who I am, they get disappointed and they love to see me coming. Okay. So where was I at, y'all? Oh, Lord knows. Y'all see, y'all play too much. Yeah, we talking about public defenders. Oh, the advice. That's what I was talking about. Sister P, did you pray for us today? I sure did. In prayer at church, we have prayer and Sunday nights. This is a side note, y'all. We was on advice with attorneys. Yes. So anybody that crosses this path of Portia Justice League, I do keep y'all up in prayer. I do. Yes, I do. Intercede. Yes, I do. That's not a question. Also, I'd like to say that we have prayer at church on Saturday nights, 8 to 9. And it's so powerful. I pray that God open up doors as he have, open up for people that reach the content, any person that reached this platform, touch them, their lives and their families, to bring any plot schemes, scandals, and assignments from the north to south, east, west winds, in operation against them and their mission and their call for his glory and dismantle it. Y'all know what dismantle is. Dismantle every assignment in operation against them. In Jesus' name. Yes, I do. I completely do that. When I'm doing paperwork, I have to pray over the paperwork. When somebody inbox me, I have to pray over that. Just a praying woman. That's why I had to cut. Now, I know some people haven't joined the live before, but we used to be up here 10 to like 3 in the morning. And I had to bring stability in. That's when I first started on the platform. It used to be, it's a different crowd to come at night. And I couldn't be in that crowd because it just was a different crowd, but it was good, And so I had to bring stability to Justice League. So it got too big for me, so I had to make it a business. I was doing too much with this. And so I found myself doing a lot of stuff a civil rights advocate does. I didn't know I was doing civil rights advocate work. I thought I was just pro se litigant. And it wasn't. It was a hard. God be getting you for real. He'll have you doing stuff you'll know all you know. It's like he'll put blinders on you until you reach that higher height, and you reach that higher height, and then when you take the blinders off, you be like, "Dang, how I get here?" Yeah, that's how I am. Thank you for the rose. That's how it be with me. I be like, I know you lying. Why you gonna do me like that, Lord? But I see now that it's a necessity. But, I got a little dramatic and stuff, dressing up. I love Lucy, putting boxing gloves on. What really tripped me out is the content with the karate outfit on. That's when my hair was a little short in the back. And that video tripped me out. That one's about probation tricks. Probation officers have tricks up their sleeve, what they do. This platform exposes a lot. It really do. If you go and watch the videos, you be like, that's what I couldn't identify. So in order to win, you have to know what to identify. Of course you do, right? So let's talk about the advice. The attorneys provide advice. And back to Queen Elizabeth. So, back in those days, they put their head in that thing. What is it? They put their head in the thing and they chop, they do the little, the little thing. What is it called? I keep forgetting it. I don't know why I always forget that. Y'all know what I'm talking about. They just stick their head under there and they just pull that thing and they just, yes, thank you. A gelatin. Did I say that right? Y'all know I'm Southern. Y'all bear with me. Hey, let's watch what we put in there. Let's watch what we put. You trying to get the live shut down in Jesus' name? We're not doing it. Yeah, that's what it is, y'all. And so that's what they should. Attorneys provide, what is it? Gelatins? No, you're fine, Earth. Is that what, that's what they should take advice out and put that word right there. Because that's exactly what they be doing. They some head cutters, literally. I don't care if they feel some type of way. Y'all do not do y'all jobs and you should be ashamed of yourself. That's what it is. Attorneys provide that word right there. Gelatin. Somebody get in the thing that, what, I am, how you say it? Y'all know I'm country. If it was up to me, I'd call it Jello. What is it?
Wait, what you talking about? The guillotine thing?
Yeah. Is it gelatin?
I think so. I don't know. Asking the wrong person.
Oh, girl, guillotine. Guillotine.
Yeah, the guillotine.
Yeah, thank you. Y'all know I'm Southern. If it was up to me, I'd say Jello. Guillotine. Guillotine. Somebody got me in their country, even Southern. Guillotine. Y'all know y'all know I'm Southern. It comes out. Pronounce G-lotine. G-lotine. I be messing with y'all. I'm sorry. But that's what they should call it, okay? They provide that type of it, but that's what they should replace it with. Y'all know y'all know me. Y'all know I'm Southern now. I don't have no shame in it. Right? But clients make informed decisions. That's the new word. They give that. That's what they be wanting to put you in, right? And so I don't care who feels some type of way about it. them police officers lied, saying 3 different things. They weren't on the first police report. Pay attention to that. That's contradictions, and it aligns with what do you call it? See if they're credible or not. That's what I want to say. Because when I was going through policing last year, that was one of the things they said. They said, you have to know how to write those police reports. So that lets me know that those police reports be a ham and turkey. Okay? And that's one thing I wanted to tell y'all. So with one of my clients in Valdosta, Georgia, we've been asking for the footage, the videos that he claimed that he had. I was disappointed when I saw that video because he said we have proof that they was on the scene. We have video footage. I'm like, okay, well, let's see it. When the mom FaceTimed me and she sent me that because she had to send a flash drive to my to me, I was like, really, baby? They talking like it's daytime. They talking like it was daytime. So what happened was it was night, and you know, at night videos you can't see nothing. I said, baby, for all I know, that was Batman and Robin running. You can't put no face on it. You can't put no hood, no clothes on it. You can't see no colors. You can't see. They already say that black people look alike. We all look alike. We all look the same. Which is, I think that's really racist for them to say that. They say we all look the same. They do. They do say that. They promise they do. For all we know, that was Batman and Robin running. If that's what you trying to use and present to the jury, then baby, you helping us even more so. So long story short, they don't have no choice but to let my boys walk. You have to let them walk. You can't place them there. The forensics ain't showing no fingerprints. No, everything y'all have is ludicrous. Y'all over here on some hearsay. How the witness gonna be saying that she saw something? Baby, you can't see and duck and dodge at the same time. Which one was it? Did you see or did you didn't? Because on this report, it says that you heard and you saw, but you didn't see nothing and you ran. You see how you have to watch that type of stuff and that type of tone what people say? If they hide and they won't give you footage, that's a red flag. And that's the big word, okay? Plea deals and fear. Let's talk about it. Many cases resolved through plea negotiations, okay? Some people accept pleas because they fear possible outcomes. And that's what I was saying. These are real facts due to the article that I had and I've been doing. They will put a fear on you to make you and convince you. I do homeschool and I teach my 9-year-old 29 there are 29 communication skills, right? So in those 29 communication skills, there is such a thing. It's called persuasive communication. Persuasive communication. What is persuasive communication? I teach this, right? Persuasive communication is convincing others, not only your client, but others. Okay. So they do a lot. So they convince you into thinking, making you think that there is no remedies, there's nothing they can do, and nothing they can exhaust as far as procedure and law to fix the procedural issue of your arguments to fight in your defense. There is so many laws, so many codes that you can put out there. Prime example is the chain of custody. Let's say I don't know why y'all know I make up names, and God cover the person of the name I want to use. Little Josh and his friend. Little Josh and his friend, Leroy. Little Josh and Leroy are driving. They are age of 16 and 17-year-olds, right? For one, they are black, okay? Let's say that. People say this is not a black and white thing. We've been targeted for a long time. We have. That's facts. I don't care what nobody say. I don't care how you put it out there. That is. Although you might not see color, the system does. And this is what I've been going through as a civil rights advocate. It's the truth. Right? One of the cases I have in Angola, pause right here. One of the cases I have in Angola, there was an armed robbery and there were supposed to be 5 suspects. Well, out of those 5, the guy that I'm advocating for wasn't even there, supposedly on the scene. The witness said he saw they done a lineup. I see the most craziest stuff, y'all, in this discoveries and this paperwork and transcripts. You can't make this stuff up. I just be like, man, you know what? I'm going to bed. I'm about to pray this stuff. I'm about to pray over this case, and I'm going to bed. You hear me? But so in that lineup, they chose him because his name was just roaming around, right? He's a person that's known to get in trouble. So I don't want to use that. I was just going to say, let's just pick a cotton, but let's just pick a person, right? And so long story short, what the system railroad this guy, because even in the affidavit of truth, the victim say, I didn't see this person. This person's not here. But okay, well, why he doing 15 plus years in Angola? And so it made sense. I'm looking at him. I'm seeing that if he was on the market, then he would be sold off as goods, as sweat equity. He good person for sweat equity. Young, Angola, if y'all go look, that's the most horrific prison in the United States of America. It is, baby. And they have a plantation. They still ride horses and gunshots, shotguns on horses. And they have to grow their food and plant it. They have a whole farm field in Angola. So, of course, he going to be a hit. I mean, he in Louisiana. Why not? Pick him. And I'm looking out of their lineups, and I'm looking in the lineup, and I'm seeing a few of the guys were white, right? And I'm looking at the census that they gave him versus this stuff be true. They let him off of it. So even if somebody do say they said he was involved, but they supposed to gave him up, say he was involved, but it's not what you say, it's what you can prove. Then he go back and change it. Then he contradicts himself. So even if they give a person a plea deal to turn somebody else over, just give their name, they have to have that in the discovery. They have to disclose that. A lot of times they don't, right? So that's just a prime example of that part. But far as what we say, what was the names? Leroy? Was it Leroy? And Jossie? We're going to rename them. Let's rename them, guys, because I don't lost the name. Let's say Joshy. I don't even know. Jossie and Leroy. Ages what? 16. Josh and Leroy. One is 16, one 17. Of course, the 16-year-old's driving, 17-year-old tags along. They driving. We talking about chain a motion that you can use for this to fight in your defense. So they rolling down the street with their Lambos. Everything's cool. Leroy has a backpack, and it has some substance in there. Not much, just a little something. Let's say a THC something, and they pull him over. Well, they have to have probable cause. Let's say they don't have probable cause to pull him over, because the tag is good, the license. I mean, everything is good. No busted tail light, no nothing. Everything's clean. So at this point, they have to have probable cause. So what was your probable cause? There's no busted tail light. Everything's good. It's clear. It's not raining. They going to speed limit. Why did you pull them over? Because you see 2 young black guys in there. You get up to the thing and you don't smell nothing, but you just suspecting at this point. So you pull them over, detain them. You find that backpack. Then you tell them they're under arrest because they searched the vehicle, right? Then they get both of them co-defendants and they get charged. Nobody's saying who done it, whose it is, but neither one of them know because it was somebody else they had gave a ride to. See how that go? So, okay, book them. What you doing? They book them. Family get a bond. They have to wait, go before the judge. Judge do excessive bail on that little petty stuff. And here we go. Okay, now they got cases. Okay, they go for their arraignment. Then they get a public defender or attorney, either or. Let's say Leroy got an attorney, Josh got a public defender. So neither one don't know what's going on. Family don't know what's going on. Nobody don't know the law. All they know is wrong. So, okay. Well, you have to identify where your rights are exercised. Can somebody tell me what was wrong with this picture? They had no probable cause. They license clean, everything good. Can somebody tell me what motion they can put in to fight in their defense? Y'all hope y'all was in that Court Spring series to tell me. I mean, they have a right to argue, but it's a motion that you can put in. Due process is your 14th Amendment. It's a motion that you can put in. It's one of the most powerful ones. They were violent. Thank you, somebody. Lord, my labor is not in vain. Motion to suppress. That's right. A motion to suppress. Or a motion to suppress that evidence. Motion to suppress. When you throw in a motion to suppress, that means they had no probable cause to arrest them. Everything was good. The 14th Amendment is to argue that. They have a right to that. But the motion that they would be able to file in and notice is legal education. That motion would be because the chain of custody was broken. There were a lot of things that was wrong. A motion to suppress, we call that the fruit of the poisonous tree. Why? Because they detained them, but they ain't tell them they was about to be arrested. I mean, because if you detain, you ask, am I free to walk? They'll let you go or not, but they didn't. So a lot was violated. Their constitutional rights was violated. You see what I'm saying? So for one, they can beat that charge. You know why? They Miranda rights. You have to question that. You have to question that they have probable cause and that they have a warrant to search that vehicle. You see how that go? You see how stupid? Do I want to use that word? We lack knowledge. No, forget that. They went to school for that and training. They had training for that. You see how stupid they did? Thank you. Stupid, ignorant that was. Because what? I know you lying. You didn't go to jail. Dag. But you see how that went? Because did they exhaust the remedies of, not even exhaust the remedies at this point, did they do the procedural law? Did they do what they were supposed to had done? Did they go through the training that they were taught? They abuse of power, abuse of authority. Yes, of course. You know why? Because they do things now out of tradition. They forget about everything that they had learned, not knowing that now you can go after their surety bond. Now you can make complaints to general attorneys. It's a lot of things that you can do considering this fact. But if they don't know, if their family don't know how to identify it, then and they dismiss these charges or they put a plea deal on them and they take it, then a life was gone. Now they're in the system for good. Now you see. So I throw out the education for us. Okay, that's fine. So now they have the they did. So now what you can do with that, because they were violated, their constitutional rights were violated. You see what I'm saying? Now you can take that into generational wealth, but you have to exhaust the remedies going through that process. And that's what I throw out as legal education, to be able to identify if you do have a federal lawsuit. Because if you have a case in court in a state, in court, we're not talking about federal. When federal court are the big dogs, federal court, I like federal court. Federal court, I haven't had no problem with federal court. Federal court are like the godfather of, say, Experian, you have credit. You have Experian, Equifax, and TransUnion, right? Experian is the godfather of the other two. Then you have state court. You have court. What's the name is the godfather. Federal court is the godfather of all the courts. Yeah. And so you have to know these things and be able to identify it. So if you have a case, or you do have a case, I'm not gonna, well, I guess if you have a case, go back and go back. I don't care how long it was, because you can reopen cases. You can. But you have to know, how can I do that? I believe federal lawsuit on the police unlawful detention. You have to how can you do that? You have to exhaust the remedies out through that. I have videos on for the Court Spring series to see if you went through all those remedies. That's what I be saying. Y'all have a generational wealth. These people be setting y'all up. So I know y'all heard what's meant for evil can turn around for your good. It can, but you have to be able to identify. If you're lacking knowledge, in those areas, then you're not going to be able to see your generational wealth. But it's not that you're trying to. I mean, for goodness sake, one of my clients in Chicago, she getting $3 million back. So what that's gonna look like for justice? You see? But I had to. I'm telling you. Oh, hey, Brother Rio. So it's things that I know, and these people know that I know this stuff. Wardens know I know this stuff. They don't be giving me problems like that. That might cock an attitude or something a little bit, or they might not reply and they just do the work. Like my client out in one of the prisons here in Georgia, she say they don't bother her no more. They don't bother my clients. And I'm not saying this in a cocky way, but they know better now. If I'm advocating for someone, you know better. If I need them to sign something and get a notary, and you're blocking that, that's a constitutional violation, because they have rights to the courts and you're interfering with that. And I can have you subpoenaed by the marshals in the federal court. You see what I'm saying? How that work? I didn't go through the list of what I can do to get to that, but just know that I'm on standby and I'm documenting everything. I'm documenting attorneys. I'm documenting public defenders. I'm just at y'all neck, respectfully, for the sake of my clients, which is operating as their civil rights advocate. You see what I'm saying? I just don't play them type of games. Y'all can go play with somebody else in their face with that. I don't have time. I don't. Not take out really, I don't. So you have to understand what when you're taking plea deals, you have to know what you're pleading for. For one, I need my discovery. If they holding out on that discovery, baby, that's a red flag. If you don't know nothing else, write down discovery. I need my discovery. Now, it's things to this, because they'll throw a diversion at you, meaning that you can accept the diversion or whatnot. So I'm gonna let y'all up here in a little bit. So a diversion is sign something saying you have to do a program. That program in that diversion is a plea deal, and you have to see what rights. You have to, and that's what they get you at. And it's a shame what they do. They get you on those diversions. Anytime they tell you how, that's on you. And the trick is, they'll try to make it seem like you have to get approved for that program. Baby, they already approved. Go ahead and tell them that they already approved that program, because they don't want you to go to trial. Why is it that you don't want me to go to trial? Why is that an option for me not to go to trial when I have due process violation? I mean, a due process, 14th Amendment exists. Why? You know why? Because it takes time. It takes money. But when you think about it, when they sign up for these programs, they have to pay a crap load of money to these programs to get in these programs. So, meaning you want to plead to this thing. And people don't know how to exhaust, because they put their trust in these public defenders and these attorneys. And you can't, I won't slap the judge. You have some judges out there that's fair. Then you have some that's not. The case I went to, attended in Douglasville, my client, attorney wanted to slap me. I never saw that. I never witnessed that. I mean, she was livid. Her hand was shaking. I didn't know. At first, I was questioning, like, okay, she got the spirit of God. But then she told me, I am getting very upset right now. I can't tell you how many rooms I sit in with attorneys, and they get upset because I know I pled fool to catch one at first. Then they feel like they can get over on me because of this smile, because of how generous and kind I am and respectful. You see? And these are the things I have to deal with. My clients know when they get on the phone with me, they know how I am. I don't act unprofessional or none of that stuff. They just know that I be nailing it. I be on it. I be on it to the fullest thereof, right? So, they don't tell them that they're taking a plea deal for that diversion, but you have to pay for that program. Tell them. That's what they throw that in for you to get into trial. So that means that you could be in a pre-trial stage, but if you take that program and sign it without reading the fine print of what rights you're giving up, and then you might go in later and say, oh, they said this about me and I didn't. You can beat those. People so quick and trained, they mold people into taking plea deals as if it's a good, it's not a deal, baby. And people can even be innocent. But what happens is I have a client. Well, I don't even have a client at this point. You're not my client. No lie. I have this person that's been dealing with this, and I asked the question to him. I said, do you know what that means for them to put this charge on you? Do you know what that means? And you sitting around expecting him to do his job? They about to get you. I was so upset with him, I changed my number. And I know him back from home. And I don't care if he watching. He know who he is. I still feel some type of way about that. Because you let these people handle you. I was like, God have mercy on me. I was so done with him. You can't even text or email. You can't do nothing to get no motivational encouragement, nothing. Because you put your life in the hands of these charges that they trying to put on you. And you gonna sit back and go on beach trips and living your best life and posting like you just living this big good life. You know how serious this is? It broke my heart inside. Because you can use this time to see what's going on. And you got a public defender? Are you kidding me? Baby, they about to smoke you. You roasted. You roasted and you don't even know it. So when you get incarcerated for these charges they put on you, don't call my phone. Don't text me. Don't call my sister. Don't be like, twin, and where have you been? Don't do none of that. I'm over here pleading with you to get you on the board. I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to chase people to fight in their defense when I already know what's about to happen. I'm not doing it. I refuse to. Not what I know. Not the stuff I see. Not the conspiracy I find in these cases. No, sir. No, ma'am. No. No. These people already done some time of something they ain't even do. But they ain't even take that. So what happens is, I have a client. They've been incarcerated for this one thing. They had co-defendant. They even did drug in. It was foul play on the outside. Because you don't know who be plotting on you. I'm telling you, you don't. You wouldn't believe who be plotting on you. You see what I'm saying? To try to set you up on some stuff. And for y'all people out there on probation, y'all better go watch my probation videos so y'all can know who's the who's you can and what you can't do and hang around. Because these people, you guarantee you think you're just getting away with something when these people ready to find you on violation of something. You hear what I'm saying to you? So that's why I give the education out. I don't want to make no excuses no more for nobody. You know, we have 1 through 13 videos out on our Court Spring series. And the reason why I talk this way, because we, the real result community, you have remedies to exhaust. You have an opportunity to learn about the stages of cases. And the videos are not boring. Once a person, I know they had to be a particular person. I already know, God already showed me. They say, oh, I didn't even want to watch this too long. talking about the Carmelo Anthony's video, say because it was on Facebook, say because of too much ego boosting. What, you don't like the truth? That's what it is. You don't like the truth. That's why when I come with results. When I speak with results. The content I do is real results. It's legal education. But if I was an attorney, it would be legal advice. But since I'm not, it's legal education. Now y'all catch my drift? But people, yeah. Man, come on now. Whoo, Jesus. Just know that the tables will turn. Okay? Sheriff's Department acted out an old charge. I was wrongfully convicted for police put to... Ooh. And that's what I'm saying. So they have video, dash cam, body cam, footage. These are the things they have where you have rights to get. But if you're not asking what the words say, ask and you shall receive, knocking the door should be open. Y'all don't do none of that stuff. God giving us wisdom on where we lack at. He'll send a labor in. He'll send a labor in. But you ignore that still quiet voice that says something to you. And this is my point as well. If they're not asking, don't volunteer nothing. If they're not asking, don't volunteer. You hear what I'm saying? If they're not asking, don't volunteer. Because you thinking that you're doing a good deed. Right. So you thinking you're doing you're doing a good deed. And this is what people get tricked out of. Now, when I was going through policing, because I had already started the training and things that was already drilled in my law book that I've had, and I've been studying over 17 years. So it was just adding to me just any other little thing. But what I found in that of when I was going through the training of policing before the academy, get myself prepped of reading tag. Really into this stuff deep, boy. I was bad boys. What you're gonna do when they come for you. I was in there heavy, boy. I was studying, reading, driving down the street, reading folks' tags. Just not tag readers or anything, but I'm quoting in my head the codes because they do things like Zulu, Niner, like they codes and stuff I know already. You see? I don't know why I was. I guess to help my team people to reach real community. So anytime you encounter any police officer on any scene, you're under investigation. They're gonna come. I'm trying to find out how to help you folks. Don't get me wrong. There's some people out there that has that badge that are in good deeds. Don't get me wrong. But just know that you're not doing them a favor by ranting your mouth, because you could be incriminating. So check out how slick this is. So they say you have Miranda rights, right? Y'all hear me, right? So there's Miranda rights, okay? So if y'all don't know, Miranda is a Spanish man that these are people's stories actually where it originated from. And as well as warrants. So any codes they have, these are real people that's named after, like the Terry Frisk. There was a real man named Terry. Put it in reverse, Terry. I had to say it. Oh, Jesus, working on me. So anyway, these are real codes that they use. And so considering the fact when, I don't know why I was going to say we, I'm not policing, but they are trained, because I was going to say we are trained. Y'all, I'm not fooling with y'all tonight. So they are trained to come as this angel of light, right? And so from the time, I don't care if it's a phone call or in person, from the time that you encounter, whether it's a sheriff, whether it's the police, whether it's whoever, you're under investigation. So that means that whatever you say from that time point being, you're under investigation. So they are trained. I was going to say we again, but I'm not doing policing. I dropped before the academy. I did that thing. So they're trained to investigate and get much information as possible from you. So of course they're going to come and, ma'am, sir, how can I help you? What happened? Tell me, just talk to me. You know, don't pay attention to them. Talk to me. They were talking because they got that camera. They got that camera right here on this shoulder, and talk to me. Talk to me. Tell me. And you looking all ugly, snot, blowing, frustrated, cussing, fussing, emotional, looking a fool. We do that though. Whatever the situation is, sensitive. Yeah, I'm being honest. And so whatever it is, you have to be mindful that they have footage. Some now you have dirty ones. We ain't talking about them right now. We talking about the ones that actually have that thing on, okay? So you confiding because they say the right words in that time because you're emotional. Right? You're emotional. So people say any and everything out of emotions, whether you're mad, angry, happy, and sad. Be mindful that thing right there is footage. It becomes evidence. Prosecutors get a hold to it. That's why I tell y'all to stay out of your emotions. Think, breathe. Right? You have to. And then after you don't told the beans, spilled the beans, or whoever sort, then they say they don't even detain you at this point. Put your hands behind your back. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say will be used and held against you in the court of law. You see? Then they go down the list. But check this out. Why you ain't reading me my Miranda rights when you got on the scene and let me know that anything and everything I was going to be saying? You see the trick in that? If they ain't deceived, that's persuasive communication. It's 29 communication styles of that. Now y'all understand where I'm coming from? Now y'all see why I tell you it's not the evidence that they have. I argue that on one of my videos. It's not the evidence that they have against you. It's what you do on the scene. On most of the times. What you do on the scene. Most of the times is where your charges come in at. By that time, you got obstruction, misconduct, you don't assaulted the officer, eluding, all of these things. Now you don't made a charge actually versus what you can get out of. Yes. Now you get what I'm saying? Don't be fooled. Be wise as a serpent. And I used to be like, why God want us to be wise as a serpent? Like, what the heck? A snake is a snake, right? So I done some research. Hold on. Hey. Hold on. So I done some research, and I was like, I don't want to be no snake. You know how we just be talking, right? He said, behold, this is coming from Matthew 10:16. But y'all be sleeping on some stuff because it be true in the Bible, right? Some people say, I ain't about that. I guarantee you are, because it's life that we live today. And that's where the deception comes in at, because people have it in their mind. I don't believe in that. Okay, fine. Just be a complete idiot with lack of knowledge. You understand? Behold, I send you forth as sheep in the midst of wolves. Right? Be ye therefore wise as a serpent and harmless as a dove. Right? So here, what it's saying is, what this wise as a serpent is, and it means be discerning. Don't be naive about people's motives. Be observant. Pay attention to what's happening around you. People set you up, I'm telling you. Use good judgment. Think before you speak or act. Protect yourself wisely. Don't walk blindly into traps. Understand the systems you're dealing with. Know when to speak, when to remain silent, and know how to proceed strategically. Why harmless as a dove? A dove symbolizes innocence, purity, and peace. Don't become evil just because you recognize evil. Don't manipulate people. Don't repay wrongdoing with wrongdoing. Keep your integrity and compassion. Right? They work together. If someone is only a serpent, they may become clinical, manipulative, or cruel. So you have to be wise enough to recognize wolves. Pure enough not to become one. Now y'all see what I'm saying? That's all Jesus saying to y'all. You see? Don't be gullible, but do not be corrupt. Be strategic without becoming sinful. Know your heart pure and your mind sharp. That's why you can't operate out of emotions. Emotions is the works of the flesh. You know, we get angry. We say anything out our mouth. We be talking crazy, baby. We been on there told somebody, come and catch this fade. Y'all know police officers know what fades are. And we ain't talking about no hair industry, because I did that, done that over 24 years. In the time I was studying within that time of law on my own. Because they know what a fade is. That's the terroristic threat. That's why you can't stop arguing with people, folks. Don't say nothing. My husband told me a few years ago, he said, baby, just because you want, because I be wanting to say some stuff. I learned from him. He said, just because you want to say it don't mean you have to say it. I said, you know what? All right, that means smart. I be wanting to say some stuff when I'm on the phone talking to these prosecutors. I be wanting to give it to them. But what have I achieved? Let them catch them. Let them get that fade. I know you lying. That's a terroristic threat. You see how we can run our mouth and get ourselves in trouble? While you over there upset with Jenny because she don't did A, B, C, and D, you over there, you can catch this fade. You can catch this fade. And here they are. Oh, see that? She catching the fade. As you see, went out of no hair salon. Now they don't took that as footage and using it against you. The prosecutors playing it. That's why I say be humble. I told my client when she went out of this one state that I don't have, now I do, where the whole law firm had to fly the owner in of the law firm and the attorneys. I know they probably looking ducks and watching me. They got somebody on assignment. I don't even care about that. You're getting what you want. The truth. Y'all are afraid of the truth. Y'all afraid of the people. You're afraid of Portia Justice League getting to people to give them the truth of what they need to protect themselves and the system and the society and the injustice system that we live in today. That's what y'all afraid of. Y'all afraid of them getting a hold and getting wiser in that area to be able to fight back, not with their mouth, not with their arrogant, egotistic, whatever you want to call it. The thing when y'all put us in a box, in a category to cap and put a cap on there and call us ignorant people because we have melatonin in our skin. To each his own. It's not a black and white thing. I'm just saying people are people. We the people supposed to hold them accountable, but how can we hold them accountable if we don't know how to identify what needs to be procedure and law? You don't have to know law. You just have to identify what it is that you're dealing with in order to fight in your defense. Don't leave it to Tom, Dick, and Harry to fight in your defense, because they gonna screw you over every time, literally. And I'm seeing it. Otherwise, why is it that I have multiple clients with paid attorneys and public defenders, and they already convicted them, and now I gotta be Captain Save in the Justice League? You see what I'm saying? Thank God for deliverance. You hear me, baby? Because you know, if I was out there in the world, you know, I say Captain Saver, you know what? You see? See how God is good at all times? All right. Am I on my time? Let me see. So what does modern day court survival look like? Know your rights, know the charges, understand the procedure, review information, keep documentation, participate in your defense, right? Communicate respectfully. Y'all hear what I said? Communicate respectfully. Y'all play too much. People be catching my drift, huh? You see what I'm saying? Participate in your defense. Y'all heard what I said. Y'all hear what I said. Listen. Participate in your defense. Participate in your defense. Right? Communicate respectfully with counsel. There's no more excuses. Email. Okay? Get an email address. and stay informed, because they're not going to inform you. My client had a court date August coming up, and his public defender didn't even tell him I had to notify the family by calling the prosecutors. I'm checking. I'm doing this. He don't have to do his job. I'll do it for him. In my own willpower, what I can do as a civil rights advocate. You see what I'm saying? Only difference is they call it attorney privilege, baby. Y'all can't stop what I'm doing. I don't care about that attorney privilege. God is the attorney. He is the attorney. You see what I'm saying? I wouldn't dare go past that bar. Then if I go past the bar, I won't be able to help people, because people are like, why you'll be a good attorney? Yeah. And y'all have to do a GoFundMe and y'all have to go do a GoFundMe and bail me out of jail. Because I'll be fighting for y'all, literally, in the spirit and in the natural. You know how many times John Lewis got arrested, incarcerated? About 45 to 49 times. He got incarcerated. I ain't trying to step foot and do no mug shot. You hear me? Y'all need me out here in these streets. Somebody said, "Oh, wee." All right. I hope if y'all come up in the panel, I'm gonna start letting people up. But after I do this, I want y'all to know what a serpent is and what they represent, right? The serpent is one of the most complex symbols in the Bible, right? It can represent both negative and positive things depending on the context. As we saw that in this context of what we read was the serpent, to be wise as a serpent, right? We already know that, okay? So, deception and temptation. Lord, I thank you for this day. Help me during my day. Keep me surrounded by your angels. Protect me from the north to south, east, west winds, from every plot, scheme, and scandal of the enemy. I counsel every assignment and operation against my life. I know I'm not perfect, and I know that flesh is the flesh. So I ask you for forgiveness in advance, Jesus. Right? You see what I'm saying? How easy that was to pray before you leave your house? Pray before you go to bed? You hear what I'm saying? Listen to this one. Lord, you know I've been going to work, and Becky with the good hair been provoking me, Lord. And Lord is weighing on me, and I'm trying not to smack her and slap her. So give me strength and endurance to be able to be wise as a serpent and gentle as a dove. You see how that work? Oh, you see how that work? And then when Becky for the good hair come up, you say, Lord, remember that prayer I prayed this morning? And I'm asking you. I'm trying not to catch a case, Lord, but you know I will. You see how easy that was? I can't stand, look at y'all, but it's true, right? Y'all see how? And don't forget to say in Jesus' name. And all of a sudden, Becky knows she don't have that power over you no more. Now, somebody else done smacked her. Now she in the hospital in a coma. Because that slap was from the ancient time, baby. That slap they slapped her with was from the ancient time. It was coming. Her ancestors got up on their hand and smacked. Dave Chappelle said, what did the hand say to the face? Was it Rick James? He said, what does the hand say to the face? He said, it said slap. Now you just dodged that weapon that the enemy threw out during out the day. You see how that worked? She Rick James her to the ancient times. You hear me? I bet she saw Queen Elizabeth and everybody. So, when I'm working, prayer is everything. To be wise as a serpent, right? Let's talk about it. Deception and temptation in Genesis, right? Now the serpent was more subtle than any beast of the field. So here's what he represents. Besides being wise as a serpent, just was a dove. But I'm speaking life though. Y'all know I'm speaking life. Deception, cunning, temptation, the influence of evil, Satan working through subtlety, right? Wisdom and prudence. Be wise as a serpent and harmless as the dove. That's just plain and simple. You see? Because people will provoke you. When people don't like you, they envy you, they jealous. Cain unalived Abel, he was jealous hearted. Stay away from that. So what I'm saying to y'all, when that still voice is speaking to y'all, telling y'all to drive the other direction, you might say this way is shorter. No, baby, go the other direction. You hear what I'm saying? Because you're going to dodge what God wants you to dodge. You in his divine protection of justice. You hear what I'm saying? These people might have had done something, said something, lied on you, baby. That's why they have the law. They have to exhaust the remedies of law and procedure. That's why we have constitutional rights for us to uphold and hold people accountable for. You said I did it. You said that I said that Becky with the good hair gonna catch this fade, baby. Where's the evidence? Because at this point, you going by hearsay. The reason why I'm saying that is because be careful what you say. Calm. I don't care if you have to leave. Calm yourself. Calm your emotions. Gather your thought. Now, it's not easy said and done because I already know. I don't want to say what I know. But I already know that the decision is already made when it comes to our children. You see what I'm saying? How they go? You see how they go? Y'all feel me as parents? Anybody been parents out there? You don't care of the matter the age that they are. You don't care what age they are. You don't care if whether they're 45 or 60 and you still living. You see? So all I'm saying to y'all is if they saying it's a lot of hearsay. It's a lot of hearsay and the courts will move off of hearsay if you let them. That's where the 14th Amendment kicks in at. So what I'm saying is that you can exercise your rights. Don't let nobody tell you that it's over. I don't care if you may have made a mistake. Now, if you're going through that 5 or 6 times, baby, there ain't no mistake. You need deliverance and you need Jesus in your life. Well, that's the end of that. Okay? We're not talking to that type of crowd right now because you know that you a jailbird. You see what I'm saying? Now, situations will put us into survival mode where people have to do things that they feel that is a remedy that they have to. I speak truth. I speak with results. I'm just not making this stuff up. So my thing to do is to encourage y'all because you know why? People don't understand what arraignment is, but y'all do now. People don't understand the difference between a bond hearing and a trial. Y'all do now. Deadlines, you do now. I'm going off my list. You don't know who the judge, prosecutor, and the clerk and attorney is. You do now. By joining this community, far as even if you're watching content, even if you don't come apart to be a client of Portia Justice League, you have help. Help is here. Help, support is here. I'm here. I am here, and I can't tell you how many clients I got on the chessboard is winning. I can't tell you. You know why? Because we're not backing down off no plea deal negotiation. I tell you what you can do. You can take that plea deal. Go go in your prayer closet. I'm talking to the people that's offering you that, attorneys and public defenders. Y'all take that plea deal that you're offering me, and you ask God to show you if is that something that you would take, or is it something that you ask them that? Is it something that you would take? Ask them. If the tables were turned and you had a plea deal right on the table, would you take it? How would you fight in your defense if that was you? Ask that question. Ask him or her that question. And see what the answer is. No, I'm serious. If they offer you a plea deal, ask them as an attorney or a public defender or whatever legal representation counsel you are, would you take that? If they say yes, then ask them, well, why and how? And why would you? Break it down. And listen to their answer. Listen to it, write it down, right? When you do, When you do write it down, then go back to what Jesus said, be wise as a serpent. And see if it makes sense to your spirit. If it don't make sense to your spirit, baby, they lying to you. Now y'all get it? Go back to it. Say, be wise as a serpent. Because it's wolves in sheep clothing. Most times these people are wolves in sheep clothing. They sent by an agent. Who is the agent? The dark side. Now y'all understand? The word of God says we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but principalities. I can go on and go on about it. You see what I'm saying? I can go on. I'm not preaching. I'm just giving the facts of what is. We're not saying harmless as a dove. We're just using that wise as a serpent part right now. I love y'all. Right? So ask questions. Keep a calendar. Know your case number, your court date. I said that before, right? People struggle with constitutional rights. So I encourage you to get your I have a video for constitutional rights. I love you too. Your constitutional rights is essential. Baby, if you got to go Google a video that says, I'm not trying to be funny by all means necessary when I say this, because I have a video up already. But if you have to go on YouTube and Google the constitutional rights for kids and see what they say, baby, and break it down that way, because they be putting all them terms and legal terminologies and try to make things difficult and all of that. Nobody got time for that. We just need to know what we need to know, baby. Does this line up in what fits me? Is something broken there? So I can fix the procedure issue and let them write it down, my concerns, that what my right was, and so I can know how to fight in my defense, as the 14th Amendment says I could, and I can, and I is. And I know those not grammar words that I should use, but I'm just, I promise I don't talk like this on a daily basis. I'm just, letting my hair down, literally. You understand when, you have to understand when to remain silent, because a lot of people just be talking out emotions. You have to know what your rights are, what you're wavering, the rights without understanding them. Don't waive your rights without understanding them. I guarantee you, if you knew what rights were being waived, you wouldn't go for it. I'm telling you, go on YouTube, Google the most simplest constitutional right video for kids or something where you can see what it is. You're going to see, you're going to be like, man, all of that was violated. I mean, all of that was. So, also, you think having an attorney or a public defender means you don't have to ask questions. That's a lie. That's an agent that's still quiet. Okay, whatever voice that is telling you that you don't have to ask your attorney or public defender questions because they know what they're doing. That's untruthful. That's injustice. Okay, that is diabolical. If you don't know what diabolical is, that means it's evil. Ask me how to spell it. I don't know how to spell it. I'm just joking. Let me stop. So a lot of people don't know what their due process is. That's the 14th Amendment. Your rights. It's a lot that falls under that line, which you have rights to one of that. If they tell you you can't have your injustice, they tell you, oh, you don't have a right to this and that. I'm just joking. You ain't have to put that in the chat. I know how to spell it. Because I be calling these people all the time. I put them on Front Street when I call these places, especially the prisons. I say, well, ma'am, I just know how diabolical y'all are. That lady said, diabolical who? Diana who? I said, ma'am, I wasn't saying anyone's name. I said diabolical. Diabolical. I talk crazy good with these people professionally. I do. And it's not cockiness. It's just that I be catching these people. I know the blabo, the devil. The 5th Amendment, right? Against self-incrimination, we went through that already. 6th Amendment, we went through that already. 14th Amendment, right? Justice shouldn't depend on how much money you have. Y'all heard that. Justice shouldn't depend on how much money you have, right? Protect your future. Y'all understand what I'm saying to y'all? I think I'm going to let a few people, let me see if anybody requested to come up. I don't talk enough. Oh, wow. A lot of people don't wanted to come up. Oh, ooh. Now, I hope y'all read the panel rules. I promise if y'all have not read the panel rules, if y'all haven't read the panel rules, I will have to, I don't know if y'all, are y'all something to come? Ooh. If y'all didn't read the panel rules, I pray that y'all did. I'm gonna have to, because I asked y'all to read.
Oh, I can show you how mine is. I can show you
Some of
mine.
y'all people, I
I can show
am. You
you
got
how I
to.
did mine because I didn't take my
I
roof
am.
down. I just
I know he. I know he didn't
cause
even come up. Okay. Okay. Everybody else got shy. Probably answer the question. I'm ready for you.
Ready for who?
Do you know the panel rules?
I'm sorry. The page just brought me here. I'm new to your page, so I'm not quite sure what the game is that you're playing. But I heard you talking some law stuff earlier, so I was intrigued.
No, we're not playing no game. Well, we are playing a game of law. We are. We have to know how to play their game. So I do play their game, and I play it good. But you had a question. Did you mean to come up? I don't think you meant to come up.